All right, folks. Wano Savin's in the thick of it. He's in Washington, D.C. right now. I'm going to bring him on in just a second with some breaking intel concerning Kash Patel and his what he's doing in Washington, D.C. I know a lot of you are concerned about Bill Gates. Why was he having dinner with Trump? Why was Mark Zuckerberg the enemy, the two biggest enemies of the entire planet, of humanity? Why would he host them at dinner? Well, same reason he had Fauci on stage, right? I'm going to have Juan to explain all of that very soon in just a few moments. Folks, it's still 50% off right now on ninoscorner.tv. It's still 50% off. I got a lot of very good emails from people saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, folks, I have no idea how much someone's hurting in the pocketbook. I really don't. I thought $4 was cheap, but we're still doing the 50% off. I'm going to keep it going. So it's like $2 to join ninoscorner.tv right now. Everything's 50% off right now. So get over there. I'll have Wano Savin doing a longer form podcast very soon. Jerome Corsi's up there right now. I got a doubleheader from Juan. I got Joshua Reed. I got a lot of people on there right now. I got SGN on coming back on. I'm in touch with him. So a lot of good stuff. Folks, hit the notification button. Share, like, love. I wish there was a love button on this. Hit the notification button. Also Venmo, D-Rod1977, D-Rod1977. When the lights go out, folks, when the lights go out on Amazon, folks, I tell you what, this book was my boxing memoir. Seeing what's happening to boxing right now is disgusting. It's sad. It's become the world boxing entertainment. Jake Paul ruined it. Mayweather's going to fight Tyson. It's all fake. Don't buy it. It's a joke. I guess you'll like to see the ring entrances. Is that what you're paying for? Are you going to pay $100 on pay-per-view or whatever they're doing to watch a ring entrance and then watch fake fighting? Because that's what it is. It's all fake fighting. All of it. It's not the sport that I came from, folks. Letting you know that right now. And I don't know why I just went off on that tangent, but I did. Boxing is not on life support anymore. It's dead. It has now turned into the world boxing entertainment. And as long as Canelo doesn't fight Benitez, forget it. Forget it, folks. It's over. All right, and my mama's book, The Mexican Mix, right there, my mama's book. Please leave an honest review. And with that, folks, Noble Gold, folks. While you're distracted by headlines, the insiders are getting ready. And Juan knows this very well. Billionaires, big banks, even foreign governments are hoarding what? They're hoarding gold. They know the dollar's being devalued. They know the next crash is coming. So why don't you own what they're buying? Noble Gold Investments makes it simple to protect yourself with the same investment-grade gold and silver the elites are stockpiling, real assets you can hold in your hand and keep safe in your retirement account. Don't wait until it's too late because we don't really know when that day is going to be. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com today. Noble Gold Investments. Get started, folks. Believe me when I tell you this. And I have a great show today. A lot going on. A lot of people are up in arms. A lot of people are pissed off. What the hell? What the hell's going on with Gates and Zuckerberg in Trump's White House? How is this happening? He's betrayed us. And then you got the Epstein victims screaming, we need Trump to do something. Yeah. I got a feeling he's got a trick play in his sleeve. And I'll ask Juan more about that as well. So, ninoscorner.tv, folks. Wano Savin, Jerome Corsi, Kerry Cassidy, and Richard Hoagland coming on. Going to be talking about the 3-Eye Atlas. Is it all hype? I don't know. I'm going to hear what they got to say. They believe not. They believe something big's coming. We'll see, I guess. I got L.A. Marzulli also coming on to talk about, the 3-Eye Atlas. Dustin Nemos was on just recently. I'm going to be putting that up today. And trigger alert, because, he seems to believe Trump is the Antichrist, and I guess he has all the ammunition in the world to believe that, so he unleashes all his ammo on me and my viewers on ninoscorner.tv, so you can go ahead and watch that. That'll be up this evening, unless Juan's interview today takes precedence, which it might. Then I'll have to put Dustin Nemos up tomorrow. Next Wednesday is Ringside with Nino, and that is 5 p.m. Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, and that's where we all war game together, and I tell the little secrets that Juanito and others give me. I don't ever betray Juan's trust, believe me when I say that. Also, folks, the next general in the general's tent, 5 p.m., August 29th, is Charlie Ward, mate. Charlie Ward. Charlie Ward's coming on. So he'll be on. So, and with that, folks, you might want to turn it down or turn it up. I give you a chance to do that. I know a lot of you grab your phones right about now and start turning it down. I thought about steering away from this. A lot of people are like, you're so beyond this now, Nino. You're just beyond this. You're beyond this. But am I really, or am I still really immature? I think I'm really immature. All right, here we go. Coming at you live for the apocalypse, folks. Wow, my voice cracked. It's like I'm going through puberty all over again. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, my voice cracked. So RFK annihilated everyone yesterday. All those who took money from Big Pharma, and Trump posting on Truth Social a few days ago calling for the truth to come out about these, you know what, right here in the shoulder. I still got to do it. What is happening? So this was Jenny, from my friend Jenny, who has her own podcast, saying, what is happening is Trump and RFK Jr. exposing these people for who they truly are for the world to see. Well, that's how he does it. That's how Trump works. He puts him front and center, big light on him and everything, and shines a bright light, and that's how he exposes these people. Trump is telling everyone who's in control, and it isn't the deep state. It's Trump. So I'm going to hear more from Juan in just a second, but I'm going to read this Truth Social post from Donald J. Trump. It is very important that the drug companies justify the success of their various boogeyman drugs. Many people think they are a miracle that saved millions of lives. Others disagree. With CDC being ripped apart over this question, I want the answer, and I want it now. I've been shown information from Pfizer and others that is extraordinary, but they never seem to show the results to the public. Why not? They go off to the next hunt and let everyone rip themselves apart, including Bobby Kennedy Jr. and CDC, trying to figure out the success or failure of the drug companies for the boogeyman work. They show me great numbers and results, but they don't seem to be showing them to many others. I want them to show them now to CDC and the public and clear up this mess one way or the other. I hope Operation Warp Speed was a brilliant, as many say it was. If not, we all want to know about it and why. Thank you for your attention to this important matter. DJT. All right, let's go ahead and bring in Trump. Let's go ahead and bring in Juan right now because he's pressed for time. He's only got about 5 minutes. Juanito, can you hear me, Juanito?
I can hear you, Nino.
Okay, I had to go through that really fast because I know you're pressed for time.
Yeah.
So you have some breaking intel to break with my audience. Go ahead, I'll let you have at it.
Well, and I'm kind of getting ahead of it a little bit. We'll wait to see that it actually happens, but it's the scuttlebutt right now is that sometime here shortly, you're going to hear that the awards that were given to the gentleman who was the sniper that killed Lavoy Finicum and was involved in other nefarious things, Ruby Ridge, Waco, other stuff that a lot of the patriots here are just like, what? And they gave him an award. This FBI ceremony cashed it the other day. That's going to be called back, and a number of people, including Lavoy's wife and people around her, came out to D.C. to explain what actually happened and what we know. So Cash is apparently going to withdraw that award. I think that's important because Cash, in fact, as was said, heads are going to roll. People in these departments set him up. He really wasn't that familiar, like a lot of us patriots are. You just have to understand he comes from like a different zone. For example, when he was out in Vegas before he became FBI director quite some time ago, he was unaware of Tina Peters. And I'm like, what? How can you not know who Tina Peters is?
Yeah, that's
but
surprising
he's
to me
in
too,
a different zone, okay?
Yeah,
but people in his own department set him up on some stuff. No, we got to do this, we got to do that. That hate President Trump, that hate cash, and there's a machine in all of these offices, a deep state, and so they'll sift stuff in to try and get you to go along with it and make you look like shit. Well, uh, then you have cause. Okay, that guy's out. That guy's out. That guy's out. They're self-terminating when they put people in embarrassing positions like that, and Cash, knowing the rest of the details, which he really wasn't aware of, has apparently made the right decision. And we'll see when it plays out. I mean, in DC, things get to a certain point, then somebody else jumps in. No, no, we're not going to do that. So we'll see how it plays out. But I suspect you're
So,
going to
so
find out
Juanito,
that.
my emotional side, my emotional side says Trump hosting Bill Gates and Zuckerberg at the White House is disturbing on so many levels that I'm this close. Everyone's this close to turning their back on Trump and to the entire fucking movement. But my intellectual wargaming side says to remember Trump always exposes people by putting them into the forefront. He did it with so many people, as of recently Jerome
Well,
Powell,
let
and
me
even to meet
give you an
Elon Musk.
example. Let me give you an example, Nino. Of course, the situation with what's his name out of Ukraine comes over, and he's going to be a dumbass and tell Trump how the Ukraine war has to be run, and then he gets embarrassed in front of the world over deciding he's not going to sign a ceasefire. Then Ramaphosa, president of South Africa, shows up with his entourage and the billionaires, and Elon's out in the hallway, and they're going to get Trump to do a trade deal with South Africa where horrors are happening, horrors. And so it gets them in the White House, and then when they're comfortable, they got a great deal going, Trump shows the plight of the South African farmers and all the people being killed in this operation,
Right there
and
in
the
front of
children alive.
everybody. You're right.
Okay,
You're right.
and he literally, like, he's like the Harlem Globetrotter. Okay, he gets him there, gets him in the room, and he does a little dance, runs around and pants his Ramaphosa right there in front of the whole world, uh, right there in the Oval Office. And now, just to take it forward a little bit, whereas he was there in the Oval Office, he's hailed as this great leader. South Africa, all of his entourage. 2 weeks ago, Trump says, "Hey, we're looking at Ramaphosa. I referred him over to the Justice Department for financing terrorism with the Taliban." So Ramaphosa goes from the very top all the way down to now we're looking at him as a
So you
financer of
really believe
terrorism
this is what
to
he's
take
doing
him
with?
out.
You believe this is what he's doing with Gates and Zuckerberg?
When he pumps them up there, they have to be understanding that they wanted the attention. They want to be hailed as though they're all beautiful and wonderful and everything else. Once he's got everybody looking, it's just like the drug thing you just read a moment ago. Okay, all the drug companies had their story. Remember, Trump's not a doctor. You have this huge government machine, deep state, everything. Could Trump, like he knows something technical as a doctor, say that the COVID stuff
Watch out,
was,
Juanito.
sorry, uh, uh, somehow bad?
Yeah.
He's got to make the judgment. They have all these experts in government. He is running this huge, aircraft carrier, and he's got certain things that he can know, but he's got experts to know all the details. They're there for a reason. Somebody's put them in there. He has to trust certain of the information. So now, because there's enough people, we're enough far along on this whole thing, he's going, well, is this stuff accurate or not at this point? Uh, so that's where we have to.
Okay, so you're saying here that he is exposing them. He's putting them out front and center because he's bringing in a lot of money into America, regardless of what people think of these people. Which I don't have any respect for Bill Gates, no respect for Zuckerberg, but they are bringing 600 billion to the economy each, right? Is that what the amount is each?
Well, yeah, questionable some of the circumstances there, but they're look. What are you supposed to ignore that they're big dogs in the room? Trump's a big dog too. He's giving them their recognition, and then they got to understand he puts them out there in the forefront of all this stuff, and then he can also say, well, but also, what about this? What about that? What about something else? Their day is coming, so they may
But I
loathe
mean, my
that
audience
they
is
got
going
to
to
be in
say
front
they've
of
been
this.
saying that for so long. Their day's coming, and it
That
just
is
looks like
not
he's.
true, Nino. We have seen all sorts of exposure of who these bullshit artists are. Trump has been exposing, just like the Doge stuff, just like the USAID, things like that. We are making huge progress. So saying it's not here, nothing's happening. I'm here in DC. I can tell you right now, there's shit happening. We had meetings this morning with some of the top investigative people on the planet in government agencies right now, and where they are investigations right now is stunning. We are we are going to kick some ass, unbelievable amounts of ass. Do you know what? Uh, in one of the meetings I was in this morning, we had a couple early this morning. Um, we were adding up all the investigators that are in different parts of the country and what their supposed role is, where they're at, what they're going to do, and then, yeah, that wouldn't fit. That's way more. That's like 20 times more people than you need for what we're actually dealing with here. And so why do they have them all stationed all over the country? Because we're getting ready for some really stunning stuff, okay?
All right. So is that why the National
We're very
Guard's in
close.
19
It is
states
not
right
just
now?
talk.
But is that why the National
Yeah.
Guard's being deployed everywhere? Because they're getting ready, right, Juanito? And is it? And Juan,
Yeah.
let me ask you this: is it any coincidence that the Epstein victims are coming out right now? Is that all part of the plan here?
Well, um, it's more than just Epstein. It's other stuff that some people may tie it to Epstein, but there's things going on way beyond Epstein at the end of the day. So everybody take a deep breath. Epstein was intended to backfire and hit Trump. And there was engineered stuff that was put in place. They were thinking they were going to take Trump out over Epstein. It'll take all of them out, amongst other things. Look, Bill and everybody else, that was a CIA operation on the Bill Clinton side with all of his stuff, setting up people by getting them to Epstein Island and then blackmailing them. And Bill was sucking them in, just like Randy Andy out of England was setting up people out of the Commonwealth.
Okay, so what about
and others.
What about Thomas Massey says the Epstein victims will not compile their own Epstein list due to lawsuits, but he and Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene are willing to name the names in the House under constitutional speech or debate immunity. And it gets even better. Pam Bondi reveals the Biden regime allowed the transfer of over $7 million for the trafficking of children into the U.S. via just one smuggler, and that's the Biden administration. But also, they're saying that they're not gonna list any of the Republican names. So, are they only going to list Democrat names?
Well, I think that it's. I don't want any of the partisanship. If there's bad guys in there, there's bad guys. If the people were showing poor judgment, I think they all need to be shown. And that partisanship probably isn't appropriate at this point in time. But we'll see how it plays out. Just know, excuse me. There's a lot, and that we're not chipping away at stuff and making huge progress. Look, there's some financial machines that are in the political world, both coasts, that need to be lawyering up right now. And the things that they've done, not about covering are very known in there. It's just
All right, Juanito, you're freezing up quite a bit.
I think it'll be coming from.
Juan, so let me ask you this. No, it's okay, but I got you now. But now the Judge Breyer has ruled. Did he just get cut out, Alex?
Yeah, it looks like he just got
all right. Well, I'll get him on. Damn it. I try to get what I can from him, folks, and it happens this way. Maybe he'll jump on again. I don't know. But anyway, folks, Trump can't use the National Guard military in California to enforce laws. Judge Breyer rules. Along with the boogeyman surge hits California as officials urge people to start wearing masks again. And what I was going to try to get Juan to comment on here, and if he jumps back in, that's great, is that the last time this happened, the last time this was enforced, protests and riots took place, right? So we know that maybe Gavin Newsom's last stand is coming, and I think that's what's happening. And I've been talking to Juan about this, and it says devices. He's in the back room, but it says device not connected. Juanito, you got to try again. And that's what I wanted Juan to comment on. Is it going to be Newsom's last stand coming into this final situation, probably in the fall when we start seeing people getting clickety clank. Folks, I'm going to have a little bit of a longer show today. I'm going to take call-ins today. So express your minds. Just heed to the rules and regulations. Please keep the punches high. No cheap shots. No punches below the belt. In case of a knockdown, run to the neutral corner. You know what I mean, folks? Try to be nice on my channel. Try to keep me up here. So I appreciate everyone helping me out. Juan, I see him trying to get back in here. So it is what it is. So I'm telling you this, folks. I'm going to tell you this. Gavin Newsom is going to be played as the villain coming into this. I still think he's going to get clickety-clank after all of this transpires, but he's definitely going to stand his ground and put the flag on the hill. He's going to die on that hill, and it's going to be for California or Commufornia. So Gavin Newsom is going to play the villain here. He's going to – okay, Juan just entered the studio again. Alex, you want to put him on? Is he on?
Still not quite connected, but
damn, I don't know, man. He needs to get out of cricket service.
Jitterbug.
Cricket, whatever the hell he's using, man. Oh man. All right. So I gotta tell you, folks, when you look at Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg and understand the shadow race that we're in right now with China. We are in a shadow AI race with China. It's all about who's going to control everything. And the race is for AI. So I believe the same way Trump used Elon Musk, he's using Bill Gates and Zuckerberg and Peter Thiel. I think they're all being used by Trump right now. Trump is the puppet master, and I think that's why a lot of the Epstein list stuff has not come out, because Trump is using that as leverage. I really do believe that, and that's my own personal view on it. I think he has the master leverage. He's the master hand right now. He is the puppet master, Trump, right now, and I think he's getting deals done that would otherwise go to China because of this the list, folks. I think he's using it as leverage behind the scenes, bringing them to the table to where he can control everything. Give me a thumbs up if you agree with me on this. I think that's what he's doing. He's being the master puppet master. The puppet master. There you go. The puppet master, folks. That's what I think he's doing. It all adds up to this. We are in an AI shadow, a shadow race right now. AI shadow race with China. Right now, CCP, and I'm telling you, folks, you don't want the CCP beating us at the AI game. You don't want them beating us. You want to win this race, and the only way you can win it is have Bill Gates and Zuckerberg on your side, and I guess you got to keep your enemies closer, folks. Friends close, enemies closer, and that's how I see this. Now, this is strategy speaking here. This is a heavyweight champion boxer speaking on strategy, and that's the way I see it. And that, I've had a lot of discussions with Juan, with Jerome Corsi, SG Anon, all these guys behind the scenes. I talk to them, folks. I talk to them, and that's why I have the General's Tent, the whole thing on Nino'sCorner.tv, so you could have a front row seat and all this as well. But I'm telling you, this is what I see happening. We are in a shadow race with China right now, and you got to bring the big boys to the table and break bread with them, even if you don't like them. Plus, I know they're thinking to themselves, we're going to beat Trump. We will turn him to the dark side. Yeah. But I think he's got leverage on him, folks, behind the scenes. And that's why the whole list and the files have not come out. That's why I see them breaking bread with him right now, folks, because they're like, you know what? We better play ball. We better play ball. That's the way I see it. Get your calls in, folks. We're going to be taking super chats and calls today. I am going to get on with Juan O'Saban again today, probably this evening, and I'll put that up on ninoscorner.tv to talk about all this. So President Donald Trump gathered a who's who of the best tech world elite for dinner at the White House with notably industry giant not in attendance. And who was that? Elon Musk. It's like a bad breakup, right? It's like Trump used and abused him like a Juarez dime store whore. And it's like he doesn't need him anymore. But I got a feeling Elon's working some magic behind the scenes, if you ask me. Among those at the September 4th dinner, Meta founder Mark Zuckerberg, Microsoft founder Bill Gates, Apple CEO Tim Cook, Google Sergey Brin, and Sundar Pichai. I don't know how you say that. Pichai. And OpenAI founder Sam Altman. Who was not there? Elon Musk, the Tesla X and SpaceX leader who was once among Trump's closest allies before a falling out. So if you know how Trump works here, we've all seen him work. It's kind of like he puts these people out there, uses them up, chews on them a bit, and then spits them out. And I think he's going to do the same thing with Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg, and I think they know this. They not only know this, but there's something hanging over their head. There's something that Trump's got on them, folks. I'm telling you. Please give me a thumbs up if you agree with me on this. Give me a thumbs up because I think I'm over the target on this. And a lot of you really believe you fell for it. You thought I was going to come out here and be like, I'm turning my back on Trump. No, this guy's a brilliant strategist. That's what I see, and that's what I see him doing. And everything's culminating right now. National Guard going out to 19 states. You got RFK pissing all over the CDC and WHO. I mean, it's all happening right now, September. And I think it's going to continue in this trajectory. So that's what I think happening. Musk said in a social media post that he was invited, but unfortunately could not attend. After a once cool relationship with Silicon Valley, Trump has been embraced by many tech leaders in his second term, and the president has taken a favorable approach to the industry, promoting cryptocurrencies, warning foreign countries against adopting such regulations, and pushing a plan for American dominance in artificial intelligence while dropping former President Joe Biden's AI restrictions. So he's moving forward in this, but once you understand the real race, the real fight, the real war is with AI, the shadow race that's happening right now is with China. This all makes sense. Of course he's going to bring the big boys to the table. Of course he's going to break bread with Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg. You think this is poker? This is chess at high levels. You think he's going to show his hand? This is what he's doing. But I personally think, like I said before, they got something over them. They have to come to the table. They have to be there. The dinner guests took turns praising Trump during the event. The tech leaders invited to the White House represent some of the biggest AI firms in the world. Zuckerberg sat next to the president, while Gates sat next to his first lady, Melania Trump. I'm going to have Mark Beckham on, who's Melania Trump's very good friend. He's done some podcasts with her, and I talked to him last night, actually this morning, and he said he wrote the book One Future Day. I think that's the name of the book. And he's going to come on and talk about Melania's comment about the robots are here. He knows Melania very well, so I'm going to bring him on and have him discuss what's going on behind the scenes. I'll put that up on ninoscorner.tv. He's a friend of Melania, and I want to ask him, what does she mean by the robots are here? So we'll get into that. Melania Trump hosted a White House event focused on AI earlier in the day that was attended by Altman and I guess it's Pichai. I don't know his last name. The robots are here. Our future is no longer science fiction, Melania said at the event, which was focused on AI education initiative she leads. So they're very optimistic about AI. Me, I'm going to say I believe in the Bible's perspective on things. I don't see how AI could be a positive thing. Maybe for a little while, AI will be great until it gets into the wrong hands. And then it's going to suck. Okay? I mean, as long as Trump's running shit right now, I'm not worried about it right now. But maybe evil is finally saying, we lost this battle, but let's play the long game. Let them think they won. Let them have Trump. Let them have Trump for now. We have AI. That's what I see. Epstein accusers put pressure on Congress to release the files. A group of Jeffrey Epstein accusers on Wednesday told emotional, gut-wrenching stories of sexual abuse at the hands of the late convicted sex offender and his co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, raising pressure on lawmakers to back the release of all the files in the Justice Department's years-long Epstein investigation. I have a feeling this is going to come back to bite everyone in the ass that's been trying to take Trump down with the ship. When I've seen a lot of podcasters, man, bail on it. I mean, just more and more podcasters are bailing, jumping ship right now. One of the accusers, Marina Lacerda, identified herself as minor victim 1 in Epstein's 2019 federal indictment in New York. I was one of the dozens of girls that I personally know who are forced into Jeffrey Epstein's mansion on 9 East 71st Street in New York City when we were just kids, she said. Today is the first time that I ever speak publicly about what happened to me. I was only 14 years old when I met Jeffrey. Man, it's a child, man, said Lacerda, one of the 9 female Epstein accusers who appeared at a news conference on Capitol Hill. It was the summer of high school. I was working 3 jobs to try to support my mom and my sister when a friend of mine in the neighborhood told me that I could make $300 to give a guy a massage, she said, choking up at times. It went from a dream job to the worst nightmare I've ever had, she says. Now, I don't know. I mean, 14 years old is 14 years old. Sorry. I mean, even if she knew what she was getting herself into, she's still 14-year-old. I mean, sorry. This is unacceptable on all standards. Another Epstein accuser, Annie Farmer, alleged she was 16 when in 1996 she was flown to New Mexico to spend a weekend with Epstein and Maxwell and was assaulted. But okay, they're children, but wouldn't you think in your mind, okay, why am I going to this grown man's ranch? What am I doing there? I mean, yes, they're children. They don't know any better. Her sister Maria was also assaulted there, Farmer said, and sensitive photos of the sisters were stolen by Epstein. Sensitive photos. I wonder what was on those. The incident was reported to authorities, Farmer said. I am now 46 years old, 30 years later. We still don't know why that report wasn't properly investigated or why Epstein and his associates were allowed to harm hundreds, if not thousands, of other girls and young women, Farmer said. It's getting juicy, folks. It's getting juicy. Epstein survivor who voted for Trump questions everything and questions what is he hiding. So yet another Jeffrey Epstein survivor has expressed her disappointment in President Trump's constant dismissal of their fight for justice as a Democrat hoax. Now, we all saw Trump say this. He said it's a Democrat hoax. I am a Republican. I voted for Trump. Jenna Lisa Jones, who was abused by Epstein in 2003, when she was just 14 years old, said on MSNBC Wednesday evening, for him to say what he's saying is beyond me because I put my hope in him and he's supposed to protect us. And for him to say that this is all a joke and that it's sides, this is not sides. We will say in time and time again, none of us are up there accusing him of anything. There's no one that is accusing him of any wrongdoings. For the fact that he is saying those things and saying it's a hoax, who are you hiding from then? They're saying, because if it's not you, who is it? In other words, Trump, you got to do something. You got to act. You got to do something. But I feel, folks, and I don't know how you all feel, there's a big trick up Trump's sleeve. Now, I know a lot of people want me to get all crazy and emotional on this, but I do see this playing out in a way that I'm sorry, I feel like it's a big trap, and a lot of people are going to fall into it. And he holds the puppet strings right now, and that's why all these people are at the dinner table. Believe me, Bill Gates could be dealing with CCP China. So could Mark Zuckerberg, and they were, but they're not anymore. Why? Why? You got to think about these things. So, I see Newsom now playing this game of villain. He's the tough guy. He's the big tough guy on the block. He's going to challenge Trump. It's like almost like it's scripted theater. Like what I'm watching here's a movie. Like I'm watching this going, who is this guy? Why is he still around? Karen Bass, the whole squad, all of them. Why aren't they arrested? Why are they done with? I mean, why is he playing this villain character? So I think there's going to be a big standoff coming to California, and I think it's coming soon, and I think that's what he's being saved for. I do. I think there's a standoff coming. So if you put in, I'm going to put some pieces together. I'm going to put the pieces out there for you all. You all put them together right now. But Trump can't use the National Guard, military in California to enforce laws. Judge Breyer rules. So you got to think at some point it's going to get to the point that Trump's going to have to sign the Insurrection Act. He's going to have to do it. He's going to be forced into it. And all these moves that Newsom and California is making, they're going to force him to do so to give him ultimate control. It's almost, you can't write this, folks. This is like theater to me. I'm looking at this and I'm like, do they not know what they're doing? Do they know they're doing this? Do they understand he can sign the Insurrection Act? I mean, to me, folks, this is all part of it. A federal judge on Tuesday banned President Donald Trump's barred President Trump, from deploying National Guard troops in California to execute law enforcement actions there, including making arrests, searching locations, and crowd control. The ruling came in connection with a lawsuit by the state of California challenging Trump's deployment of the Guard to deal with protests in Los Angeles over the Trump administration's immigration enforcement policies. Judge Charles Breyer said that Trump's deployment of the troops violated the Federal Posse Comitatus Act. Like I said, folks, don't be surprised if even it happens this year, he signs the Insurrection Act. Now, a lot of you will say, oh, he already did that in 2020. Not so. That's not the information I'm getting. That's not what happened. He did not sign it in 2020. And I've heard this from Jerome Corsi, Juan O'Savin, and others, even SG Anon. And with that being said, so Trump cannot use the National Guard in California. Now let's put that together with this piece of the puzzle right now. COVID surge hits California as officials urge people to start wearing masks again. Right on time after they say he can't use the National Guard. I think we're getting ready for a big standoff, folks. Public health officials in California are reporting a late summer boogeyman wave hitting the Golden State, noting a continued increase in new cases as some at county level advocate for a return to indoor mask wearing. Oh, the nightmare begins for California once again. The Centers of Disease Control and Prevention has warned that boogeyman infections are either growing or likely growing in 30 states, including California. Infections are either growing or likely growing. So, suggesting that increased socializing over the Labor Day weekend. So if you were out on the Labor Day weekend, socializing, being a human being, having human connection, you're at fault for this. Shame on you. Shame on you. How dare you do that? You're causing it. So now they're going to start asking people to start masking up again. And I guarantee you it's going to pick up a lot. It's going to pick up a lot coming into a fall. Watch and see. This is going to be California's last stand with Gavin Newsom. He's going to make a stand against Trump. I guarantee you this is coming. Watch and see. Watch and see. Trump is going to be Gavin Newsom is going to be the liberal darling, the Democrat hope to stop Trump. Watch and see. I swear to you, this almost feels like this is a movie that's been written out and it's theater. Could you think of a better villain? I sometimes think this is all bullshit and it's already been written out. Could this be the WWE? Could this be the WWE? And we're all being played here. Listen, folks, don't think that I don't think about this quite often, okay? I'm like, gosh, this just seems like, I don't know, Batman and fucking the Joker, Batman and Penguin. It just seems like a movie. It just seems like a movie to me. Deputy Chief says government will redact every Republican while leaving all Democrat people on Epstein client list. Are you serious? Gee, that's like not very obvious, is it? The O'Keefe Media Group on Friday released an undercover video of a DOJ official admitting the government will redact every single Republican while leaving all the liberal Democrats on the Epstein client list. DOJ will redact every Republican or conservative person in those files, leaving all the liberal Democratic people in those files, and have a very slanted version of it come out without really seeing any of their bad behavior, admitted Joseph Schnitt, DOJ acting deputy chief at the Office of Enforcement Operations. There's thousands and thousands of page open files, Schnitt said. If they're released in any way, it's going to be very redacted. Wow. So there you have it. The House Oversight Committee on Tuesday released more than 33,000 pages. 33, interesting. 33,000 pages of Epstein-related documents. Late last month, the Justice Department delivered thousands of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein to the House Oversight Committee. House Oversight Chairman James Comer previously subpoenaed all documents and communications related or referring to Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell on August 19th. They said the documents released didn't really review or reveal anything new. This is going to get interesting, folks. It's going to get real interesting, but I think there's a trick play involved here, and I think this is going to be in a very exciting month, September, October, November. And I just believe that. I just believe that, folks. And we're going to have a longer show today, so I appreciate everyone sticking around because I'm going to take some call-ins today. And, and then I'm going to jump on and do a Carrie Cassidy podcast where I get kicked in the balls the entire time. I don't know if you've seen these podcasts with me and her, but she likes to kick me in the nuts a lot. But I take it. I'm a good sport. I take it. Yeah. How many of you see people that you don't really want to say hi to, and you pretend you don't see them, And then how many of you, like when you're out, you see that person and they're thinking the same thing about you, and so you both act like you don't see each other? Has that ever happened? Because it happens to me quite often. I'm like, wow, I must not be very approachable, or they must think I'm an asshole, because there's a couple of people I see at the gym, like when I see them, we lock eyes for a second, we both turn away, like look away, like, oh, I didn't see that motherfucker. I don't know what that is. It's weird. It's awkward. So I always have to be the first guy to go up and be like, all right, I saw you. I know you saw me too. I don't know. That happens a lot. I don't understand it. It's weird. It almost like makes me want to avoid going to the gym. I actually now I avoid a lot of things. I avoid a lot of social gatherings. Do you know that the club industry right now, not just in Vegas, but everywhere, is tanking? It's tanking. Like Gen Z, they're not going to the clubs anymore. You know why? Because everyone's on their phone. Everyone's on their phone. People don't know how to communicate anymore. They're socially awkward. You couldn't stop me from going to the club when I was younger. I was always there. I was always hitting on girls, doing what I have to do. What the hell is happening to this generation? It's like the 4 years of Biden and the 4 years of the boogeyman. It seemed to me like it just destroyed an entire generation. The clubbing industry is it's going bankrupt everywhere. LA, Vegas, everywhere. Makes you wonder if they could do that to this generation, Generation Z, right? If they're not going to clubs anymore, no one's hooking up anymore. I don't know what they're doing. I guess they're all meeting online now. what does that mean for the generation after that? And then the generation after that? You know how weird this is going to get, especially for people like us who are getting older, and we're going to be like, when I'm in my 80s, like my parents' age, I think about this all the time. They're going to have to take care of me. It's going to be like aliens, like the AI generation Alpha. How weird are they going to be to us, and how weird are we going to be to them? I don't know. It just seems like if they're not going to clubs anymore, they're not enjoying themselves anymore, everyone's on their phone. I think we've already lost this. I don't know. Folks, I think about this all the time. Transhumanism, Homo Deus, the natural evolution of humanity is going to be Homo Deus. I mean, could we say maybe that we're cooked? Could we say we're cooked? Because think about this for a second, folks. If kids, 20-something-year-olds to about 30-something-year-olds, are not going to clubs anymore, what are they doing? What would make anybody not want to go enjoy their life, drink, have fun? They're all on their phone. They're all on their phone. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm sorry. I'm just thrown back by this. It's insanity to me. I don't understand how this is even a thing. But go watch the videos on YouTube. There's tons of people talking about this. Clubs are dead. And I get it. A lot of people are strapped for cash, but I think this is pointing to something much more dangerous. And I know a lot of you think, well, it's good. They're not drinking anymore. They're still drinking. They're still drinking at home alone. I don't know. Pretty crazy. Trump's DOJ considering banning trans people from buying guns. Hey. So what's going on here? The Justice Department is discussing proposals to potentially block transgender Americans from buying firearms, sources told the Post. Give them a squirt gun. Oh, boy. Okay. In the wake of the deadly Minneapolis Catholic Church shooting conducted by Robin Westman, who identified as a trans woman, DOJ officials are mulling up options the Trump administration can take to, I'm not for this. Trump administration can take to restrict the Second Amendment rights of some Americans. Sources familiar with the talk said, I'm not for this. I'm not for it. I'm sorry. They're still Americans. They still deserve to protect themselves. Oh, boy. Some DOJ members believe the move can be approved as a follow-up on Trump's executive order barring military service by transgender people. That part I can kind of see, but banning guns from these people, I don't know, man. Let me know what you all think about it. I don't know. I think, you can't take away those rights from those are God-given rights for all Americans, even if they're hey. So I don't know what you all think about that. So one option could see Trump formally declare that people who identify as transgender are mentally ill and are not legally allowed to possess firearms, one justice official told CNN. Well, I can't agree. I can't agree with everything Trump does. I don't. Like the flag burning thing, but then I see strategy. So I see the flag burning ban and the no cash bail ban as strategy for what's coming. So I see him getting ahead of the ball. And I guess maybe some transgenders might be activated later for more mass. You know what? I don't know. Maybe he's just getting ahead of the ball. Newsom is becoming an obsession for Democrats beyond California. Democrats have become obsessed with Gavin Newsom as the California governor becomes a topic for operatives, donors, and lawmakers. So they're looking at Newsom to be, I guess, the big villain, super villain to Trump. See, this is where I think this is just, I don't know, folks. Like, why isn't this guy behind bars? Newsom is consistently driving the news cycle, and it's coming up in town halls and fundraisers and in conversations outside political circles. I'll tell you what, folks, and I'm just going to say this right here, right now. If nobody's, which, I believe it will happen, but if it does not happen, nobody's arrested, and this guy runs in 2028 against Trump, guess what? I'm going to say it. We've all been played. Something bigger is going on here, and they're controlling both sides. And I'm going to say it. I'm not going to say I'm going to agree with Dustin Nemos completely, but I'm going to tell you that if this guy makes it to the 2028 presidency or runs against whoever is running after Trump, and it's Newsom, and there's no arrests, we've all been played. We've all been played. And I'm going to say it point blank, just like that. Don't think I don't think about that shit all the time. Don't think I don't think about it all the time. I think about it, folks. Anybody and all of you do too. I know all of you think about that as well. Could we be getting played here? Well, I say if Newsom makes it to 2028 and there's no arrests and he's running against whoever Trump's successor is, we've been fucking played. And I'm going to tell you that right now. And my whole platform will change. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My whole platform will change. Agency that issues visa and green cards is hiring armed agents. The primary government agency in charge of issuing citizenship, visas, and green cards is forming its own police force now. What? Yeah. Need a green card? Put your hands up. As President Trump's immigration crackdown widens beyond traditional law enforcement agencies, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services said it plans to train several hundred federal law enforcement agents to look for fraud in immigration applications and arrest the immigrants in question or the lawyers who helped them prepare their petitions. So now they're going to go after lawyers too, immigration lawyers. I got to say, I'm not against that. There's a lot here in El Paso. I'll tell you what, nobody in El Paso has got the fucking ICE memo. I'm going to tell you that right now. I see a lot of Chihuahua plates driving around. I still see a lot of maids at the bus stop waiting for the bus. They're just waiting for the bus. So I don't know. I don't think El Paso got the memo. In fact, I know they didn't because El Paso's not worried at all. Everyone I talk to here is like, he'll be out in 3 years. He'll be out in 3 years. We're going to wait it out. I still see a lot of Mexicans playing their Mexican radio at construction sites. Oh, they all think Trump's a joke. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. Pentagon considers leasing part of Camp Pendleton to help fund Golden Dome missile defense system. The Defense Department is considering leasing parts of Marine Corps base Camp Pendleton, California for commercial use, with profits potentially helping fund President Donald Trump's Golden Dome missile defense project. I thought the tariffs were supposed to be helping with that shit. What do you need to lease out part of Camp Pendleton for? Aren't that what the External Revenue Service is now? Oh, boy. Border news. Let's get to border news. So, as the ships have arrived in Venezuela, and you saw them blow to pieces that little boat carrying all the drugs. Well, 2 armed Venezuelan F-16 fighter jets conducted an aggressive overflight of the U.S. warship USS Jason Durham on Thursday. So Venezuelans saying, "Come and get it. We aren't backing down," I say. So I don't know what's going to happen. I got a feeling Trump's going to deliver a big strike into Venezuela and take out Maduro. That's where I think this is going, and I think this is escalating to that. I think Maduro knows. Can you imagine being Maduro right now? Like, he's probably like, holy shit, I am fucked. Like, fucking battleships outside your house. Like, imagine being that guy. Like, what do you, every morning you wake up for coffee and there's 3 fucking battleships outside on your fucking bay and you're sitting there going, I'm dead any day now. I guess any day I'm going to get taken out. And just knowing what they did to that ship, that boat, I should say, I don't know. Any day you could just be having coffee and boom, you evaporate. DEA fight against Sinaloa cartel intensifies in Arizona. The Drug Enforcement Administration in Arizona is intensifying its fight against the Sinaloa cartel. Officials with the agency say they have had 48% more arrests than at the same time in 2024. We are coming for you, one DEA agent warns to all the Sinaloa cartel. The Drug Enforcement Agency, DEA, in Arizona is intensifying its fight against the Sinaloa cartel, and officials are providing an exclusive look at how they are doubling down on efforts to stop the drugs from entering the U.S. So, told you this is cartel warfare. I think it's only a matter of time before the cartels start going after civilians. That's just, I know how they play the game. That's what they do. I'm very surprised they haven't done it yet, but I'm going to bet Trump sees this coming, and that is why he's putting out all the National Guard and all the states and all that, because once these people are activated, it's game on, folks. In El Paso, Texas, pair charged with cutting storm drain grates near Rio Grande to smuggle in migrants. El Paso, Texas, an El Paso federal grand jury has indicted 2 men in connection with an attempt to breach a storm drain near the Rio Grande to smuggle immigrants. The charges stem from August 4th incident in which U.S. Border Patrol agents responded to a sensor alert in an area commonly utilized by smugglers about 1.5 miles east of the Bridge of Americas. I know exactly where that's at, in El Paso. So the 2 men were arrested. They were using tools to pry open the grate, preventing access to the storm drain system. Wow. So lots going on here, folks. Giorgio Armani. Man, I thought this guy died like in the 90s. Giorgio Armani, king of Italian fashion, dies at 91. Wow, long life. Sad to hear. Giorgio Armani, the Italian designer who took over the world with a vision of elegant ease and then rewrote the rules of the Hollywood red carpet, has passed away at the age of 91 in his home in Milan. Pretty sad. But he lived a long life. Nevada joins Texas, New Hampshire, Colorado, Maine, Montana, and more as U.S. tourism continues to free fall for 8 months straight and is projected to decline even more by the end of 2025. Nevada now joins Texas, New Hampshire, Colorado, Maine, Montana, and many others as U.S. tourism continues to free fall for the first 8 months and is expected to keep dropping until the end of 2025. The country is watching Nevada for an alarming trend. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, the videos on YouTube. There's a lot of videos on this. People are just not going to Vegas anymore. They're gouging people, price gouging people. It's off the charts. There's a fee for this, a fee for that, a hotel fee, a valet fee, a service charge fee. It's ridiculous. And people are just not going anymore. I don't see how they're doing this and getting away with it. I don't know. I just feel like maybe they know what's coming. I don't know, folks. My mind goes in so many different directions. I'm about to start taking calls. So if you want to call in, all I ask is keep it short. Keep it real short, please. I know a lot of you want to tell me your life story, but Sancho does not have time for that shit. So please just keep it clean. Also keep it clean and keep them precise. If you have a question, boom, ask me the question and let's move on. And I'm not trying to be rude to you. I'm just trying to be considerate of others. That's it. I don't know if that makes sense. But in what the fuck news, this happened in El Paso as well. El Paso's full of surprises. A lot of degenerate behavior here. El Paso cheer coach accused of placing hidden cameras in bathrooms. Wow. That doesn't surprise me, actually. Why would you have a male cheer coach? First off, if he's not, hey, why would you even have a male cheer coach? Why? I'm asking the question. Of course he's going to do shit like this. New information was released on an El Paso cheer coach for the Texas Bandits All-Stars who was arrested for allegedly recording individuals without their consent. There's the winner right there. According to jail records, Christopher Sotelo was booked in the El Paso County Jail on Saturday and was released the same day on a surety bond. Oh, boy. The owners of the business said a person had notified them of a black rectangular object inside a bathroom. The person who reported the device said she believed it was a hidden camera. The owner said the camera had a small camera lens and found a 64 GB micro card within it. Another person checked another bathroom and found what appeared to be a pen on top of a decor item inside the bathroom above the toilet, wrapped covered with a paper towel. The arrest affidavit stated, wow, this guy, what an idiot. The owner said the bathrooms are cleaned daily and that the two items had not been there the previous days. The devices were turned over to the EPPD Forensics Laboratory. Wow. How much jail time can you get for something like that? For being a peeping Tom, a peeping pervert? I don't know. I guess we'll find out with this guy. Do you know, Alex, how much jail time you get for being a peeping Tom?
Yeah, it depends. You can get a couple years in prison, though, I think. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't know the details of it. I'm thinking of those like To Catch a Predator things, where the guys bait children online, and even
Yeah.
a sting operation, they can still get like 3 to 8 years in prison for that.
Really? So,
Yeah.
dude, check this out. So back in the day, like a peeping Tom was a guy that like hung out on your tree and like used binoculars.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
my dad, that's how my
Marty
dad.
Marty McFly, right?
Yes,
Like his
exactly.
Like his dad. Yeah.
So did you know that's how my dad met my mom? So my dad was a cop. He was a detective. So there was a peeping Tom. I was looking into her window, and she called the police, and my dad was a detective that showed up. And then he asked my mom out on a date. So that's how they met.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was like, I probably told my dad, I go, you were probably really the peeping Tom. So I don't know, man. It's just weird. But let's take a few callers right now. Jen Brown, I see in the back. Let's bring her in. Hey, Jen.
Hello, everyone. Hey, real quick, everybody, please watch the Joe Rogan 2251 episode. Please, absolutely make that a priority. Everyone that's listening. Do what?
What's that one about?
It's about Ibogaine. Have you heard about Ibogaine?
Oh, yeah. I've been hearing about that. I need to look more into that.
Yes, you do. I've been sending you messages, dude, and I've been posting it everywhere. Please watch that, and let's please have a discussion afterwards. Even if we don't have a discussion, please watch it. I think it would save everyone's life, honestly.
What does it help with?
It helps. What that episode is focusing on is actually veterans with PTSD and TBIs. But I think that it would literally help anybody with any kind of addiction, anything. Like people are just reporting miraculous.
Is it a psychedelic or something like that, or no?
I don't know exactly, but I've heard it's literally comes from something. It grows out of the ground. It's from a plant. It's plant based.
Wow, I'll look into that because I have
now the only
PTSD.
Do what?
I still battle with my PTSD,
Exactly. You were the first one that I thought of whenever I heard about this. One, because we've got to get the word out, but also, so I actually contacted my congressman the other day as soon as I heard this episode. And there's not anything going in Oklahoma. That's where I'm from. Shout out to all the Oklahomans. But anyways, Rick Perry is on the episode, and he has an initiative going for Texas for Ibogaine. So wow. I was like, I'm not political. I'm absolutely conservative. I don't want anything to do with any of it, but I'm like, I will absolutely get behind this. I'll do anything to get this going. So
wow.
Anyways, please.
Thank you,
everybody watch it.
You got it. Thank you, sweetheart.
Love you guys. I pray for you every day, Nino, and your family.
I need those prayers. I'm going through such a tough time right now. It's like I'm in trench warfare right now. Like if I could explain what I'm going through right now, trench warfare with my family. It's horrible.
Absolutely. Okay, I reached out previously about doing a podcast together. I would still love to do that. The offer's
we're
still
doing
there.
it right now, kind of.
We kind of are. We are.
Do you want to plug anything real quick?
Just look me up on everywhere you guys follow me. Let's continue to build the community. Apothecaring Jen is where you can find me in most places. If not, it's Jen Has Questions or something, I don't know, but anyways, let's stay connected. The podcast is Random Thoughts, Some Useful. It's small, it's on YouTube, and it's out there on all the different platforms, but it's just bringing awareness a lot to things we're not supposed to talk about on here, kind of things, because I have a lot of personal stories about people that have chosen that route that are very close to me, family and coworkers and different things. But I'm also a stage 4 cancer thriver, guys.
Wow.
I've been going through breast cancer for the last 2 years, and I'm just doing amazing regardless of their 2 to 5 years prognosis of how long I would live. So I've got lots of things that we could talk about. So let's do it.
You got it. All right, Jen.
Thank you, guys.
Sweetheart. God bless. All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, let's get on. Wow. There's a bad echo happening. Perseverance 3J3G.
Just a second, let me turn the speakers off. Oh, let me turn this one off too. Sorry.
All right.
I'm the one that the other day said that Holy Spirit had told me to pray for your mother.
Oh, yes, I got that. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So, anyways, I am a prophet. I said prophetess, but
I can't hear you. You cut out. You cut out. I can't hear you. All right, let's get to the next one, Alex, because I can't hear her. She cut out right when she said I'm a prophet. Bing, she's out. Perseverance, try again. I don't know why we can't hear you. We cannot hear you. Christina from California. Christina from California, are you there?
You there, Christina?
Shit, maybe it's our end, dude. I
Hey,
don't know.
I had a bit of StreamYard trouble. It kicked me out earlier in the show. I was glad it didn't seem to affect you. But Perseverance, if you can sign out and sign back in, click the link again. It might work.
Yeah, let's try that. But I don't know, Christina from California. I can't hear anything. It doesn't. Yeah, so I don't know. Let's try Perseverance one more time. You there, Perseverance? You want to try again? It's always fun taking these calls. There's always so many screw ups and like
it's a roll of the dice, yeah.
And technical problems. I mean, a lot of people say it's StreamYard, but I don't know. I mean,
yeah, it depends. There's sometimes people's phone, the amount of memory and stuff affects it, but we'll see if she can pop back in here.
Here she is.
Okay, let's see.
All right, Perseverance. Let's try it one more time. Go ahead. Go ahead. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Sorry, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. It's not. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Yo.
Yeah, sorry, folks.
All right, well,
we can only do
what we tried, right? We got one call, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Nice to talk to Jen. Thanks, Jen.
Yeah, that was cool. At least hers was working. But I guess we'll try this again at some point. But I guess all right. Well, what's going on here? Did someone else just pop in?
Let me see here.
Christina from California, you want to try again?
Question for you. What are these 3 days of darkness?
The 3 days of darkness? What,
Yes.
This month? Are you talking about this month?
I think you said it was this month. My sister said it was this month. I thought it was October, but
there's there's people that are planning not to, okay, so Rosie O'Donnell said something like this, and I guess the rumors are that there's going to be like people not working, not showing up for work. They're going to cut off services for people and all this stuff, and it's going to be 3 days of darkness like that. That's what I've heard. Also, I've heard that could be an EMP attack. There's many rumors going around right now, but I heard there's going to be nothing significant that happens this month. You can bank on that. Nothing like that should happen this month. So I think everyone should just be calm about this. I don't think anything's going to happen at all.
okay, Nino, thank you very much for your answer.
You got it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Perseverance, you're back. You are You do.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can. Perseverance paid off.
Hacked. Yeah, my phone is hacked severely. If you think you're under attack, I can explain directed energy weapons to you with every last detail if you ever want to know.
Well, not here, but
no, not here for sure. I just wanted to say, I just wanted to ask you if you would mind if I prayed for you right now and your mother and your father.
No, go right ahead. That would make me feel very good. Thank you.
Heavenly Father, you know what? You know when people are under attack, and you know when people are called, and David is called and his parents are struggling. And so I come to you and I call down Jesus, the blood of Jesus over David and his parents. And I call down the power and the authority of Jesus, and to bring forth all those prayer warriors together collectively. Just bow your heads. Let's just lift him up and call on healing for his parents out of those wheelchairs. Dementia is a spirit, not an illness. And spirit of dementia, I bind you and I cast you out now in the name of Jesus. And I bring the full healing. By your stripes they are healed. and send your angels. I call down the warrior angels to come in and fight for them. And I decree and declare great blessings over this family. And I am so privileged and blessed to be able to pray here today. I thank you and lift up David and all of the community in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Perseverance. Thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. I need that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I
God
keep, you
bless
know
you.
what? I actually had, just quickly, I had you, I've been watching you for years, and I was signed in and contributing, and then this attack happened, and for 3 years I had no email, and they came in and stole my codes to get into your show, and
Really?
I had no way. And so finally I fought hard and got email, and I got back into your show. But
Wow.
I'm going to tell you, 5 years ago, the Holy Spirit came to me every time I watched your show and told me to pray for you.
Wow. Thank you so much. I've been under
Every
big
time.
attacks, man. I mean, my life has just been boom, one torpedo after another.
Boy, do I know. Every bone in my body and every part of my body has been mutilated. I have 100 videos. You cannot imagine what is going on. But I have the Lord so powerful. I have all the prophecies and I know the outcomes. It's incredible.
Thank you so much, Perseverance. God bless you. I mean so much. Thank you.
Take care. And I want you to know, and God wanted me to tell you that you are extra special to him. And
Wow.
that's why he's calling on people for you and your family. He literally is. I'm in Canada, and he came to me specifically for all those 5 years. I still prayed for you.
Wow.
And then the other
Thank you.
day, he literally, and when my hands went on top of my head, when he came in, and I was just barely opening my eyes. And I don't even know if I got them open. The Holy Spirit hit me and just flipped me over on my side. And my hands went onto the top of my head, and just tongues was flowing. And while my hands are on my head, I'm saying, Holy Spirit, why are my hands on top of my head? Because when you pray in tongues, it's the Spirit flowing, not your mind. And then about 10 days later, you said your mother had dementia. And all of a sudden, the brain, the whole thing was the hands on my head. And when it stopped, it cuts. And when it stops like that, it means you broke through the second heaven, past the dark realm, and into the upper third heaven. And as soon as it stopped, I knew the battle was won. It was amazing.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. I really do. My heart. Thank you so much. Means
You're
a lot
welcome.
to me, because I'm going through a lot right now. You understand, but
Yeah.
I don't even know how I get up every morning doing this stuff. It's
But
that
you
hard.
know
It's
what?
that hard for me.
You know what? Corporate prayer is so powerful. And I think that you need a lot of corporate prayer, because I've been in a room where there was corporate prayer and a girl got healed of cancer. Bang, just like that.
Wow.
Yes, corporate prayer is powerful. That's why I wanted to do corporate prayer with your audience. I know not everybody prays.
Well, they should.
Yeah. But anyways, I'll let you go, Dave, because I know you need to talk to people, but God wants you to know that he's got a team of angels on you and your family, and we're going to get your mom and dad better, because it's a spirit. It's not a sickness.
I
It's a spirit.
I believe that completely. I know that's what it is. I know I'm being attacked.
And it's hard. I have a calling so big it would blow your mind. But, that's why I'm under attack. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Perseverance. God bless you. All right, Alex. You there?
Yeah. Hey, Nino.
All right. So let's go ahead and call it a show. I got to jump on with Carrie Cassidy right now. So.
Okay. Sounds good, man. Yeah, that was nice to chat with a couple callers.
I want to end the show with something good, with a good prayer like that. So
yeah,
that felt good. That felt really good. And I feel honored, and it means a lot to me that people actually pray for me, man. So
yeah, no, it's huge. Thank you, Perseverance. And it was a good ending to the show.
Yeah. All right, folks. I'm out of here. I'm jumping on with Carrie Cassidy. So I get kicked in the balls after that prayer by Carrie Cassidy. Yeah. All right, folks. And the new heavyweight champion of podcasting and the black sheep of broadcasting, baby. I'm out. We got the Epstein victims speaking out right now. We're essentially at war with Venezuela. We just destroyed a boat carrying drugs with 11 narco terrorists on the boat. we're going to be live streaming a little bit of the Epstein survivors speak out on Capitol Hill, give you a little bit of visual. We'll tune in, we'll tune out every now and then. I got Jerome Corsi. I mean, folks, this is a big guess. He's the expert on basically on everything that used to be conspiracy that has now been proven right. Can't get any better than a guest than this. Folks, I'm knocking him out of the park with this one. Jerome Corsi will be on in just a few moments. We got the Texas National Guard prepping for Chicago. Some big stories, folks. They're all taking place right now. So, folks, please hit the notification button. You can Venmo me D-Rod 1977 D-ROD 1977. You appreciate me, I appreciate you. Also, folks, when the lights go out on Amazon, please leave an honest review. And then my mama's book, The Mexican Mix, on Amazon as well. Both of us wrote these books. We did not have a ghostwriter. So thank you so much. And folks, get your noble gold. No time like now than to get gold. I'm telling you that right now. While you're distracted by headlines, the insiders are getting ready. Billions, billionaires, big banks, even foreign governments are hoarding gold. They know the dollar's being devalued. They know the next crash is coming. So why don't you own what you're buying? Why don't you own what they're buying? Sorry, folks, I'm getting better at these things. Noble Gold Investments makes it simple to protect yourself with the same investment-grade gold and silver. The elites are stockpiling real assets you can hold in your hand and keep safe in your retirement account. This is what's going to count. This is what's going to matter the most, the gold and silver, folks. Don't wait until it's too late. Start now. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com today. Noblegoldinvestments.com. Get started on it, folks. And be safe. Be able to sleep at night. X is Nino Boxer. Patriotwear.com. Patriotwear.com. I got some new stuff up there. Tell me if you like it. Stroll around the store. Take a gander. Also, folks, 50% off everything right now on ninoscorner.tv. 50% off. I'm extending the Labor Day sale just a little bit longer. I'm going to have Jerome Corsi after this broadcast go on ninoscorner.tv. We're going to cover more of the stuff going on with the fraud. And got to be kind of careful on FluffTube with that stuff. So we're going to do a big segment on ninoscorner.tv discussing the companies involved with the fraud, the Democrats, the whole thing. Folks, everything's breaking out right now. It's all breaking out right now. And September is going to be a month to remember, baby. I got Joshua Reed up right now. I got a doubleheader with 107. I got Jerome Corsi coming up next. I got 3-Eye Atlas with Kerry Cassidy and a former NASA scientist coming on very soon, and Richard Hoagland. So that's coming on Friday. That's going to be a big one. A lot of people are talking about this 3-Eye Atlas. I mean, it's all the news right now, and it's going to be more and more as it approaches Earth or in our solar system. What is this thing? Nothing adds up. It doesn't even add up to a comet. So it's being watched. It's being looked at. I'll see what Jerome Corsi knows about this comet as well. All right, folks. I also have L.A. Marzulli going to be joining us very soon by Saturday. So ninoscorner.tv right now, everything's 50% off. Get over there right now, 50% off all products. I'm crazy for doing this, folks. All right, folks, you might want to turn it down and turn it up. I know. Oh, David, you're beyond this now. You don't have to do it no more. You don't have to do this anymore. You don't have to yell anymore. Well, I'm giving you a chance to turn it down, baby. You can turn it down. So turn it up or turn it down, folks, and here we go. Coming at you live from the apocalypse, folks. Oh, yeah. Let's go. All right. September erupts, and booms have begun. Cartel warfare kicks off with a military strike killing 11, count them, 11 narco-terrorists. Complete annihilation. Now, I said cartel war is going to pick up. I'm on the border. I see what's happening. I see the armored vehicles in place. I see the military everywhere. And, okay, sure, that's going to deter immigrants. But it looks more like we're getting ready to play some kind of offense. But it's going to be complete annihilation. I'm going to get Jerome Corsi's view on this as he gets on. So, is the blood going to spill into the American streets? I've witnessed the Ciudad Juarez cartel wars live. I live here, and I'll tell you this, folks, they have no mercy on anybody, and they will go after civilians. So that's my stance on all this. How bad is this going to get? Is the blood going to go into the streets of America? And the dark side fires back, folks. Don't think they're going to withhold anything. So the deep state lawfare delivers massive blows to Trump and MAGA crowd. So far, 3 really big moves that I've seen that are worth noting developing or that have already happened. Trump can't use the National Guard in California to enforce laws, make arrests. Judge rules. Number 2, House committee withdraws Robert Mueller subpoena. He has Parkinson's. Oh, boy. Tariffs suffered legal setback. The legal fight over U.S. President Donald Trump's global tariffs is deepening after a federal appeal court ruled the levies were issued illegally, emergency law, extending the chaos in global trade. Folks, think about what Trump is doing right now. Just think about what he's doing right now by deploying the National Guard to 19 states, a ban on no cash bail, a ban on flag burning, and surrounding Venezuela with a $50 million bounty on Maduro's head. He's getting ready. And he's getting ready for something really big, a big event. And the walls are all closing in on these people, and soon it'll be crumbling. All of their realities will be crumbling in. Joshua Reed believes, Joshua Reed that came on my show, he says, he believes the first couple arrests will be James Comey and John Brennan. And that would probably happen before September 11th. I don't know. I'll get Jerome Corsi's view on that. And obviously, we know who's rumored to follow in October. Right? We all know who's the big fish that's supposed to go down in October. Could it be this October? It sure does seem like that's where we're headed, folks. Maduro vows to declare a republic in arms if U.S. forces in the Caribbean attack Venezuela. I don't even know what the hell that means. But Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro on Monday said he would constitutionally declare a republic in arms if the South American country were attacked by forces that the United States government has deployed to the Caribbean. Maduro claimed 8 U.S. military vessels with 1,200 missiles were targeting his country, calling them the greatest threat that has been seen on our continent in the last 100 years. Really? What about the threat of all the fentanyl coming into America and killing hundreds and thousands of people a year? That's a bigger threat. That, to me, is the declaration of war right there. His comments during a news conference come as the U.S. government this week is set to boost its maritime force in the waters of Venezuela to combat threats from Latin American drug cartels. The U.S. has not signaled any planned land incursion by the thousands of personnel being deployed. Still, Maduro government has responded by deploying its own troops along its coast and border with neighboring Colombia, as well as urging Venezuelans to enlist in the civilian militia. Are you kidding me? So this is going to pop off. Is it going to be another Vietnam? Doubtful. The strategic strikes with drones and Trump being president, they have no chance, folks. No chance at all. Texas National Guard preps for Chicago deployment as Fed stage in north suburbs, Governor Pritzker says. So Chicago, it's unclear exactly when the National Guard and more ICE agents will be deployed in Chicago, but leaders are gearing up. Governor J.B. Pritzker and President Donald Trump is positioning armed federal agents and military vehicles at Naval Station Great Lakes in North Chicago. The government said the Texas National Guard is preparing for a Chicago deployment, and they're worried. They should be. I'm telling you, folks, all the chess pieces are being put in order right now for the big takedown is what I got to say. And we're going to bring Jerome Corsi on right now. Jerome, are you there?
Here, ready to go. All set.
All right. You waited for me to do my big spill. Jerome, I appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure. I really enjoy being on the show. Thank you.
Thank you. So what are we looking at here? September looks like it's already starting off explosive.
Yeah, we've got a big month already starting. I mean, this Epstein press conference is going to be explosive because you've now got the victims speaking out. The Epstein case is not going away. And there's actually an article out, some really pretty good writing from what's in this case is being revealed. We've got, let me just pull up the case right here. Representative Anna Paulina Luna There's a story breaking that she is saying that there's over 33,000 documents, a lot of names. We've already heard this in these files. That's very clear. And they're going to follow the money trail. What Anna Polina is saying is that this is a well-orchestrated operation with many tentacles, including shell companies and money laundering. So you're going to see things like Deutsche Bank funneling money, moving money amount around internationally. And what we're going to find out that the Epstein operation was an international trafficking network. And all members of Congress who are present are going to have to see this testimony coming down. It's involving trafficking women from Slavic nations. There's immigration fraud. There's money laundering. There are foreign governments involved. There's top U.S. politicians and celebrities involved. There's blackmail. This is going to be a juicy story, and it's not going to go.
So the whole thing with Dan Bongino and Kash Patel coming out saying no Epstein list, and then Elon Musk claiming that Trump is in the files. All of this is going to put that to rest, correct? This is all coming out now.
I don't know why Pam Bondi was doing what she did, trying to diminish the story. But the point is, it's not going to be diminished. And Dan Bongino was about ready to quit. We're getting these documents because Dan Bongino won the argument. And President Trump went along with Dan Bongino and said, okay, release the evidence. And now we're getting it. And with
so that's kind of a behind the scenes knowledge right there.
Yeah, that's behind the scenes. I mean, I know the people involved, and Dan Bongino wasn't going to put up with it. He was ready to resign. When Dan Bongino threatened to resign, the Trump administration couldn't take that hit right at that time. And Pam Bondi.
Wow, so Dan Bongino gets the big win here.
Dan Bongino gets a big win here, and Kash Patel's gone along with him. Kash Patel supported Dan Bongino, and Tulsi Gabbard is the one really pushing the narrative right now. Tulsi Gabbard behind the scenes is the real powerhouse.
So they're not waiting anymore, right, Jerome? Now we're going in for the kill. It looks like Trump smells the blood, and he's going in for the kill. And what are we going to see? Everything happen now at once, like boom, boom, boom. Because there was a big truth social post that Trump put out that a lot of people are making a big deal of, and it was "good night" in capital letters with exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, and it felt like, all right, it's in other words, good night, we're going in. Is that what that means?
Trump is actually, saying it's now time. There's blood in the water. There's blood in the water on a lot of different fronts. The Epstein case is going to expose a lot of Democrats, going to expose a lot of people in power and positions of power. And it's going to be a nasty scandal involving underage girls, sex trafficking, women from the Slavic nations, money flowing around, foreign governments involved. You're going to see this to be one of the major scandals, maybe in American history.
Couldn't that pull the plug on the financial system? I mean, all these big dogs going down, CEOs, rich families. I mean, are they all looking at going down at the same time? And then what will that do for the economy?
Well, the economy, I think, will be okay. I think we need this. It's going to be throwing, disinfectant light of truth, which has been rampant among the, upper classes of society, Hollywood, Silicon Valley. This is New York City, elites all over the world involved in trafficking. That's coming out. And our government's involvement in it, and our government's working with Epstein, foreign governments working with Epstein. You're going to see Mossad's involvement. You're going to see all kinds of, intelligence agencies compromising.
And this is all coming out right now.
Right now.
I mean, this kind of came out under the radar. I didn't even, forgive me, folks, but I didn't even know they were having a press conference today with the victims. I've been so busy with other things, watching the developments with Venezuela, Maduro. Let's talk about that for a second. Let's put this Epstein stuff on the back burner just for a second, and let's talk about what's happening in Venezuela. I mean, it looks like Trump is basically going to war on all fronts here.
Yes, Trump's going after Venezuela for a variety of reasons. If the backstory of that is that during this judge Boatsam or whatever his name was, the judge who was in the Smokey Daniels case wanted to imprison Donald Trump. If you remember, they were going to go to convict him and then imprison him. The idea was once he got in there, they've got the Venezuelan gangs, deep six him, kill him.
Right.
It's like they killed Epstein. And that jail, by the way, that they have Epstein died in, the backstory there is it's got a lot of tunnels and secret trap doors in those cells.
Really? So he could have just.
Well,
But I mean,
that jail was used back in the 30s, back in the days when the mafia were being arrested in New York City. And of course, they had ways of getting the mafia out, make sure they had nice dinners and played poker and drank all evening and put them back in the cell. These jails in New York are rigged for silent running. I mean,
wow. So that's where Jeffrey was at.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have been hard to open the doors, trap door, pull Epstein out, take him to another room, hang him, and put him back. That's
interesting.
And the missing moments on the tape. I mean, we've got a few missing moments on the tape, and
minutes.
Yeah, I mean, and nobody was around to watch it. I mean, come on, this is a joke. And Pam Bondi is going to insist upon there was nothing here. Pam Bondi ought to go back to Florida and cozy up to to her friends in Florida. But
don't you think she's kind of doing what Trump orders her to do? I mean, that's kind of why he placed her in there, right?
I think she's coming around now because I think she got the truth. She got words of one syllable explained to her. And Tulsi Gabbard is really driving behind this as Director of National Intelligence, and Dan Bongino pushed the envelope. I give Dan Bongino a lot of credit because now when this Epstein stuff comes out, I think it's going to be earth shaking in a lot of different ways. The American public is going to have to realize how much corruption has penetrated even the top levels of the U.S. government. You're going to find Obama involved in it. You're going to find,
Bill Clinton just got named.
Clinton got named.
And plus Hollywood, right? Hollywood and the celebrities. Do you think they're kind of shaking in their boots right now?
Sure. I mean, also Silicon Valley, all the celebrity classes.
Go ahead and keep that up there, Alex. Go ahead and keep that up there just so people can.
Well, when you've got this press conference being held right outside of the, Capitol, and you've got the victims there, the victims are wanting to talk now. Victims are wanting to tell you what happened to them. I mean, this is not, you don't sexually abuse people and have them forget about it.
Right.
This ruins their lives. And so therefore, I think we better, belt up and get ready for this because it's going to be shocking.
So it's going to be a lot of us have already been looking into it. We all kind of know the names that are on there. We know who the suspects are. We know the horrible and terrible things done on that island, and also in the I guess you could say the tunnels under the island. I mean, the whole thing, the submarines, everything. A lot of us have been following this. But do you think that's all going to be mainstream now? Everything that we know that had happened behind the scenes?
I think it's going to be out in the public where the mainstream media covers it. The mainstream media is worthless right now. I mean, they're not covering anything of any substance. But this, with the internet and with the broadcasting of this live streaming of this press conference, there are going to be millions of people who are aware of it. And where it's going to end up is I think you're going to find that the royal family in Great Britain is ruined. They're done. When you find out the pedophilia, the rampant, and the homosexuality rampant at the highest levels of the British government, I don't think the crown is going to survive this. And it's going to involve a lot of, Prince Andrew and others involved. And we have already got pictures of their involvement. Now we're going to get to the real truth of what was going on. And it's not savory. This stuff is, the abuse of the grooming, the stealing of children, the grooming of young adults to go along with this, and the sexual abuse that they were suffering as a result of this, psychological damage. So these people are now getting a chance to come on stage and tell you what happened to them.
And this is all coming at a time when Trump is deploying the National Guard in 19 states. It's like he just did a ban on no cash bail, a ban on flag burning. What do you see coming this fall, Jerome? What do you see kind of playing out here as he's making these preemptive moves?
Well, Trump is setting the stage for making sure that the Democrats cannot pull another 2020, where they can't have more George Floyds and, say it was the Republicans and guns that's causing the problem in the city, blame it on the red states. Trump is not going to put up with any more of the painting streets and burning down cities. He's saying the troops are going in. National Guard are going in. If he has to use the Insurrection Act, he's now got Pete Hegseth in there in the Department of Defense, and there'll be no question about deploying.
So can you confirm that he has not signed the insurrection? A lot of people say that he signed it in 2020.
No.
I was told different. I was told he was not. He did not sign it.
Did not sign the Insurrection Act because at that time, if you remember, you had General Kelly, who was even chief of staff, saying, and Milley, who was General Milley, who was chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, saying that they felt Black Lives Matter had a legitimate right to protest, and the FBI was filmed taking a knee to Black Lives Matter.
Wow.
Okay, so our Justice Department turned a blind eye to the fact that, if you remember 2020, Washington was being burned down. St. John's Episcopal Church right across from the White House in Lafayette Square, where virtually every president since George Washington has been, that they were trying to burn that down. The protesters were trying to burn it down. And when Trump walked out with a Bible in front of the St. James Church and said, "We got to save this church," the mainstream media lost their mind, accusing Trump of causing a riot. Okay, and the mainstream media went with that story. Well, Trump isn't putting up with that crap anymore. Now it's going to be a situation where Chicago better face it. Chicago's got more crime. It's an unruly city. Got homeless everywhere. You've got roving mobs destroying downtown.
Don't you think? Not only, I mean, it's obviously. So if they protest, what do you think they're going to? Right. That's what he's getting ready for.
He's getting ready. If they want to pull this stunt, if the left thinks all they have to do is with their false flags. And by the way, I've been covering this story. If you go to my website and gods5stones.com and see the evidence we've got out there, the corruption, the Act Blue with billions of dollars and, magic money laundering.
Allegedly on that. This is
Well,
fluffy, but we are going to cover this on.
We'll cover all this, but the point is that the corruption is coming out all over the place. You've got Tulsi Gabbard releasing information which makes it absolutely clear that the entire Russian collusion case was fabricated. And knew it was fabricated. The intelligence community was doing reports prior to the election saying Russia was not involved in the election, and if they were, they favored, because Russia had a lot of, they were ready to drop. Tulsi Gabbard's made that abundantly clear in press releases she's given. And the fact is, Russia knew had this one lens in her glass that was preventing epileptic fits and that she was taking heavy medications. And Russia was going to drop them once she was elected. So, but at the same time, when Trump won the election, he was out there with the fabrication that Russia stole the Democratic National Committee emails, and Trump had been compromised by the Steele dossier with, Putin owned Trump. Trump was an agent of Putin with the Golden Peace stories and all the things that they were alleging that Trump had done, all fabrication. The FBI and the Department of Justice knew it was fabrication. Now, Tulsi Gabbard's made that abundantly clear. And so therefore you've got people like Brennan and Clapper, former head of the Director of National Intelligence, Brennan, head of they're all now lawyering up.
Do you think we could see an arrest with Comey or Brennan this month?
I don't know about this month, but I think it's in the works. I think
there'll be some big arrests this fall?
I think there's going to be some big arrests. The timing of it depends upon how much they want the wheels to grind between backstage while they're getting lined up all the people they want to indict. I mean, this is a process that's going on right now. I'm sure there's a grand jury convened, and people are being noticed to appear before the grand jury. I'm sure that the investigation is going on. Corruption. Trump came in and he insisted that these investigations happen. Trump is really
and Trump's name will be cleared on the Epstein files, correct?
Oh, well, if there was any doubt, if there was any dirt in the Epstein files on Donald Trump, that would have been released years ago. That would have been the first thing the mainstream media went after. I mean, I've known Donald Trump for 45 years. Donald Trump's preference in women is for adult, glamorous women who are model quality.
Right. He's not going after little kids.
He's not going for little kids. That's not. I've known Donald Trump for 45 years, and Donald Trump's preference in women is abundantly clear. And it is not. It is not
a man after my own heart.
Yeah, Donald Trump understands women, and he has very good taste in women. And They're all adult women. These
So
are
let me
women.
ask you. Let me hit some articles here and get your thoughts on them. So Robert Mueller, the House committee withdraws Robert Mueller's subpoena. A House committee investigating the Justice Department's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking case has withdrawn a subpoena to former FBI Director Robert Mueller, citing the state of his health. I mean, this is come on. I mean, we know what this is, right?
Michael J. Fox has had, Parkinson's disease for a long time, and he's still doing movies. I mean,
right? Yes.
Get the right medications, and of course they'd be available to Robert Mueller. He could function. The fact is that this is an excuse for him not to be again exposed for what he is, which is a deep state actor and a deep state, sycophant. He's really just a deep state. This whole deal that he over health issues he can't testify is nonsense. He could certainly testify. He could receive the medications he needs. Parkinson's is not incapacitating. His mind could continue to function. By the time they're going to have Mueller's going to be Parkinson's and maybe mental senior dementia, one kind or another. They're going to do everything they can to keep Mueller in the closet. Because Mueller knows too much. Mueller was too much of a fix-it guy. He was too much.
But I mean, what about all the people that are the whistleblowers behind the scenes right now? I've heard there's quite a few that are getting ready to testify and they're getting ready to throw under the bus. Are we going to see people? I can't say the word on YouTube just to let you know, but self-delete. Are they going to self-delete and homicides and?
There's going to be some of that probably, but the point is, even I was, they came after me with the Mueller investigation and wanted to put me in prison because they thought I had a tie to Julian Assange, which I didn't. And they said, we'll say you lied and you're going to go before a jury in Washington and they'll put you in prison the rest of your life. Or you take this plea deal and you can say you had a tie to Julian Assange, which was the Russian collusion last link to Roger Stone. I had figured out that Assange had Podesta's emails, and I told that to Roger Stone, and they didn't have a source. So I refused to take their plea deal. I told them to get ready to put me in jail the rest of my life, but I could not imagine swearing to a lie before a judge and God to keep myself out of prison. I preferred to go to prison. And Donald Trump knows that, I've had conversations with Rudy Giuliani. Donald Trump knows that if I had taken that plea deal, they would have made their Russian collusion case.
Wow. So that was really a lot of it was contingent on you. If you would have accepted that,
if I had done that, they would have made their case. And so what is, because I held firm and said, I'll go to prison, Donald Trump understands and he's acknowledged it. Rudy Giuliani's acknowledged. I had meetings with Rudy Giuliani in the Harvard Club in New York.
How is Rudy Giuliani right now? I heard he just got in a car accident.
Well, he did. He got in a car accident, which is, again, suspicious. I don't think it was an attempt to kill him, but I do think he was nearly killed. And Donald Trump acknowledged that by saying that he would give him now the Medal of Freedom, which is one of the top awards the United States government can give to a civilian. And this Freedom Award that Donald Trump is going to give to Rudy Giuliani is sincerely deserved. Giuliani is truly an American hero. And not only for what he did for New York, but the way he stood up for Donald Trump in the impeachment cases, the way he stood up for Donald Trump through all of the Russian collusion, the abuse he took, the lawsuits he suffered. I mean, Rudy Giuliani is a hero as far as I'm concerned. And
wow. So do you think, that's good to hear that. So he is pulling through.
He's pulling through. He was released from the hospital yesterday. And so that's good.
It sounded like a hit to me, to be quite honest. It just sounded so suspect.
Well, it sounds like it, but when you look at the woman, who's involved in that car accident, she doesn't look to me like the kind of it looks to me like it was an accident or,
okay.
But the point is, it still has to be investigated. There are no accidents. There are no coincidences. When Rudy Giuliani's hit from behind by a car speeding up, you got to ask questions.
100%. 100%. So let's keep moving here. So Trump can't use the National Guard in California to enforce laws and make arrests. A judge has ruled. A federal judge Tuesday barred President Donald Trump from deploying National Guard troops in California to execute law enforcement actions there. including making arrests, searching locations, and crowd control. The ruling came in connection with a lawsuit by the state of California challenging Trump's deployment of the Guard to deal with protests in Los Angeles over the Trump administration's immigration enforcement policies. Judge Charles Breyer said that Trump's deployment of the troops violated the federal Posse Comitatus Act. What can we expect to see here? Because California, we know, is they're planning to be a war zone.
Well, the fact is, a lot of these judge holdovers from previous administrations that hate Trump, and they're going to do everything they can to block his agenda. Okay, now when this gets to a higher court, either to the circuit courts or it gets into the Supreme Court, Donald Trump has full authority to deploy the National Guard where he sees it necessary, and that's been done repeatedly over and over again in American history. The point is also Donald Trump could use the Insurrection Act. Donald Trump, as commander-in-chief, has the ultimate responsibility for making sure the United States is secure. And if the United States is not secure because Democratic governors are releasing criminals, because you've got Soros prosecutors who don't care what heinous crime somebody's committed, they want them free on bail without having to pay a penny.
And that's what the no cash ban, right? The no cash bail ban.
Right. And so Donald Trump is now using the powers that he has to make sure that if the Democrats can't defend the cities, he's going to do so. Now, that's going to be enormously popular with the vast majority of voters. And it's going to put the Democrats in a corner where they're going to have to support criminals. Or say, oh, no, we love the criminals. We want the home. We don't want to do anything for it. We don't care if our cities are burning.
Right. And also what he's doing too, what he did in D.C. was he moved all the homeless out and then put them in encampments. A lot of people have said that just white vans were pulling up, grabbing homeless off the street, which there's some videos circling around the internet showing that. But I mean, they're not being, as far as you know, they're not being mistreated or anything like that, right? They're being taken to encampments.
They're being treated humanely. I mean, these are people living on the street, dealing drugs, defecating in the streets, creating a public hazard. The streets are not meant to have tent cities. And going back into the Depression, when there were tent cities in Washington, and FDR and Hoover were both opposed to it. The Army was called out, and General MacArthur at that time was leading the troops, getting the bonus army that wanted their bonuses from World War I cleared out of the parks in Washington, D.C. There's a lot of precedent for this. And the point is, you can't have a city run by the Democrats where crime is permitted, if not encouraged, where law enforcement is standing down, where you have defund the police being the theme, and people living in fear. So, look at California with San Francisco right now. San Francisco is a complete mess. And major Union Square.
I was there, and I went to the Fisherman's Wharf where I fought in 2004, and I wanted to go see it again. And I checked on the GPS; it said permanently closed. I was like, "Huh, that's weird." So me and my friend went to it, and like a 2-mile radius around that area, homeless everywhere, shooting up, defecating all over the street, having sex in tents. We were right next to this. We pulled up on the red light, and there was a seafood restaurant, and a couple was coming out, a very nice couple, well dressed, and they're standing on the sidewalk while a homeless guy is taking a shit in front of them. And me and my friend are sitting there laughing. We're like, I can't believe this is reality right now. Like they were just in a zone. They weren't looking at the guy. They knew he was there, but they're so used to it. They had to like pretend and have small talk. Like somebody's not taking a crap in front of them. It was insanity.
Well, the whole issue of letting the cities deteriorate is also an economic crisis. Because look at Union Square, the shops are closed, companies are pulling out, the downtown buildings are unoccupied, which means the restaurants close, all the services for the people working in those buildings are suffering. And so the tax base of the city deteriorates. And as it does, the welfare costs increase. Now you've got all these people living on the streets in complete filth, dangerously stealing from each other in order to buy fentanyl or whatever other drugs they can get a hold of. And the situation is dysfunctional. Once that happens in a city, it goes to hell. And the Democratic mayors don't care.
No, they're all part of this agenda. And what do you think about the Section 8 now ruling where you have to have proof of citizenship. I mean, this is going to get rid of what, 90% of the Section 8 housing?
Well, yes, and again, the whole idea of having illegal immigrants getting all kinds of public benefits and voting and getting driver's licenses, and to have this happen to the middle class of the United States, which will destabilize the country. I mean, the Democrats know the Democrats are doing this in order to destabilize the country.
Correct.
That's their goal.
And they stay in power.
And they say, well, the Democrats are gravitating from being a communist party to being, an anarchist party, or even worse, an anti-American treasonous party. They're actively engaging in destruction. I've written books about this. I wrote a book about, the truth about neo-Marxism, cultural Maoism, and anarchy. We're now in the anarchy stage of the Democratic Party's descent into neo-Marxism and to cultural Maoism. And so you can't have a Muslim who's a socialist running for mayor of New York City.
Mandini, is that who it is?
Mandini. And when you look at Mandini's backers, when you look at who's funding him, it's not average citizens. He's getting big grants from donors who are out there trying to have an agenda. So the Soros money and all the other money, the dark money behind the Democrats, that's who's funding people like Mandini running for mayor. Now, if he gets to be mayor, the city of New York is going to suffer economically in a dramatic way.
So let me ask you this, Jerome.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
No, not a problem. So U.S. trade allies confused after Trump's tariffs suffer a legal setback. What do you think is going to happen with these tariffs? Obviously, it's an obstacle for now. I think it's going to get cleared. It's going to the Supreme Court. But as of right now, I mean, all these companies are coming back to America because of the tariffs. Manufacturing companies and all this. So now is that all halted right now? What's going on with this?
Well, it's halted until it gets to the Supreme Court. Again, the ability of having tariffs is in the Constitution. The Constitution felt that tariffs would be the major way the United States will collect revenue. We don't have an income tax in the Constitution. That's Woodrow Wilson socialism. Okay, there's no income tax. There's no Federal Reserve. There's no national bank. All these things are, socialists going back to 1913. The point is, tariffs are in the Constitution. Trump can impose tariffs, and they're a good idea. They're bringing business back to the United States. They're bringing manufacturing back.
And won't it ultimately take away the IRS and make it the ERS?
Well, I take away the IRS and close it down. I mean, the IRS is stealing money from people. And the IRS being politicized the way it has been politicized, going after people who oppose Obama or who are not on the Democrat socialist agenda, or people who dare to support Donald Trump. I mean, the Democrats just ran this fantasy weekend that Trump was dead. I mean,
I say, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
so do you think this gets cleared up in a comfortable window of time here? I mean, how much? I mean, Trump has to work quick on this.
Well, Trump is taking the right steps right now to bring in law and order, to restore the economy of the United States, to make us again a sovereign nation. The America First agenda is solidly supported by the United States public. The Democrats are now verging into being a psychiatrically desperate party. They're embracing, the gender dystropia.
Right.
They're embracing, filth in the streets. They are not producing jobs. They're not producing. Law and order used to be what Democrats ran on. Now Democrats are running on, the rights of criminals, the rights of Venezuelan gangs to be in the United States, the rights of Maras gangs from El Salvador, tattooed all over the place, violent gangs to have their rights. We're not protecting law-abiding citizens.
It's all about protecting the criminals and the voters.
Yeah, well, protecting the criminals is going to be the worst strategy the Democrats could embrace.
So
I mean,
how far do you think this war with the cartels is going to go? I mean, I see it as just obviously they're going against the United States military. It's going to be a complete annihilation, especially with Trump in charge. He's not going to be scared to pull the trigger on anybody. So
Trump knows that the Venezuelan gangs were being recruited to be the assassins if he went to prison. They were the ones who were going to be given the jobs of killing Trump. And Trump was saying, fine, you want to play that way? I'm going after Venezuela. He's going to put the Navy out there. And yesterday we destroyed one of their drug running boats. That's just the beginning salvo. And Trump is ready to put the U.S. troops down in Mexico and clean out the cartels. You know,
what kind of position is that going to put Claudia Sheinbaum in? I mean, obviously we know who put her in the office. So how is that? That's a unique, a very precarious situation for her, because now there's a tug of war for her mind, body, and soul. And if she doesn't live up to the expectations of the cartels, she's going to be out of there.
She'll, worse than that, she'll be probably not she'll be 6 feet under. You know, is what.
Right. That's my point. So
yeah.
So how does she play ball? She's going to have to play ball with Trump.
Well, you're going to have to do something on the border. First of all, you can't have all this drugs and fentanyl across the border without having banks involved. You know, what are you going to do? Drive around with a trailer truck full of $100 bills to buy your lunch at a taco stand by taking out $100 bills from the back of the semi-trailer? You got to get the money into the bank so you can use a credit card. And the CIA has been running drugs around the world since the days of the OSS. We can't have international drug cartels without the intelligence agencies being involved and the international banks. So you're going to find the international banks were involved in Epstein. Banks' money. I've got a report here from the Justice Department on TD Bank, Toronto Dominion Bank, from 2000, I believe, 14 to 2024. They were not enforcing any money laundering standards.
Jeez.
So 92% of their transactions in that bank, which amounts to something like $10 trillion, were all money laundered because they weren't reporting to the FinCEN reports, and that it was a money laundering haven. So I've got a report here saying $10 trillion was unaccounted for in TD Bank.
Wow, $10 trillion?
$10 trillion. And another report here, and these are official government reports, but I could read it to you. I'll pull it out of my file here and read it to you.
Let's do all that on the ninoscorner.tv back channel, but
sure.
I wanted to jump to the next World War III type of news here. France orders hospitals to ready for World War III and treat hundreds of wounded soldiers per day in less than a year. So they're predicting that there's going to be a World War III in less than a year, and France is getting ready for this. France has put its hospitals on notice, and they're on war footing, ordering them to prepare for the day Europe is plunged into an all-out conflict with Russia. It looks like they're going to try to move forward with this war, right? That's the last step here. I mean, they got the World War III and then aliens coming down the pipe.
Look, first of all, the French are in a desperate situation. The economy in Europe is a disaster. The welfare state is out of control. The green agenda is about bankrupt Europe all around. And so France thinks that if they just get the war industry going, they'll make money. And if they just, keep the war going, they can keep the money laundering that they need going in order to survive. Now, the truth is, the French would be better able to run a transgender parade down the Champs-Élysées than they would be to put an army into Ukraine to fight Russia. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, the French couldn't fight World War II. The Germans went through them. The Nazis went through them like hot knife through butter. And, the French are not going to be able to fight a war. They lost in Vietnam in 1954. They lost all their Northern Africa subsequently. The French have not fielded a successful army.
But I mean, don't you believe this is like their last hope here? I mean, they weren't expecting Trump to upend the whole globalist agenda. So now they're like, man, we got to go for World War III and we got to go for the alien card.
Well, that's certainly World War III. That's for sure. I think the alien card is going to be revealed for a variety of reasons. I think that now the American public is getting ready to understand we've been lied to so much that we might as well hear the truth about the aliens. Might as well hear the truth about a lot of the substances we use as being re-engineered from alien craft that were found.
So do you think this 3-Eye Atlas has anything to do with what's coming with this alien agenda or this alien card the government could play?
I'm not sure about that one, although there is a scientist, I've been reading his books, I just don't remember his name right now, who's been proposing that this is an alien craft that's coming through.
So he's he's proposing. Wow, so he's on board with this, and now more and more people are coming in because I guess the press conference is over with the victims. Alex, is it over yet? Is the press conference over yet?
Yeah, it ended. It actually ended.
Now I'm just seeing a big uptick in the people coming in now, filing in. So, folks, go to God's 5 Stones down below and help Jerome Corsi. He's going through some life events, and he needs some help financially. So if you could donate to this amazing man, this amazing hero, this OG that I'm very honored to have on my show, please donate to him on God's 5 Stones today. So it says there's a little donate button right there. Hit the button and give what you can, folks. Anything's going to help this man. He's going through a lot of it, right, Jerome?
Well, it's also, after I went through everything with Mueller and they wanted to put me in prison, I wouldn't take their plea deal and they did not indict me. Then my wife of 32 years had supported me. Then she decided she wanted me to quit politics. And so she had an affair with the husband of her dead cousin, who I brought to the United States from Argentina in the house. And I've been living with them for 3 years.
It seems like it sounds like you need to get out, Jerome. You want to get out of Sancho and hit the
trial. The trial is going to be at the end of September. You can see I'm in the lawyer's office now preparing for the trial.
Let's get out together. Let's go have some fun.
Really, I mean, I've had God's 5 Stones is G-O-D. There's no apostrophe in the S. F-I-V-E. You spell out the word, and Stones is plural. Gods5stones.com. And it supports the investigative work I'm doing, which is quite a lot, and the reporting that we're doing. And also, it's fundamentally keeping us alive. I mean, I've had nothing but expenses here for 3 years. Since 2018, the FBI knocked on my door with a Mueller investigation 3 days before my birthday, which was August 31st. And so I've gone through several hard years here of lies that just about ruined I'm still shadow banned, even on X.
I know, and I'm kind of nervous about this airing. But it is what it is. We're already doing it. Let's get to the next article, can we?
Sure.
And we're going to go to ninoscorner.tv and talk in this in much more depth, folks. Palantir co-founder Peter Thiel. Now, Peter Thiel's creation is J.D. Vance, right? So I want to know why everyone is up J.D. Vance's ass. They love J.D. Vance. Me, I'm not I've not sold on J.D. Vance. Do you think he's going to be the most? Do you think he's going to be Trump's successor? Do you think J.D. Vance? Because Peter Thiel, I just don't know if I trust Peter Thiel. I don't know if I can trust J.D. Vance. I don't believe. Obviously, they're not cut from the same cloth as Donald Trump, right? So, what's your thoughts on Peter Thiel and what's your thoughts on J.D. Vance?
Well, I think first of all, trusting anybody in politics is a bad idea until you know what they do. And Donald Trump now has established a very strong record in the second administration. He's shown himself to be much more sophisticated. J.D. Vance is yet kind of unknown. And Peter Thiel did set that stage. I know Michael Gibbons, who is destined to be, I've met in Cleveland, Ohio, and he runs a very, very successful investment firm. He was running for senator and would have succeeded, except for Peter Thiel's, whole idea of throwing his weight to J.D. Vance, and then J.D. Vance picked by Trump. And of course, again, I have liked what I've seen so far with J.D. Vance, and I want to see more, and we're going to get to see more.
Do you think it's possible Trump can do another term?
No, I don't think Trump wants to do another term. I mean, I know Trump reasonably well. I mean, I've known him for 45 years. I was a VIP guest at the Plaza Hotel when he owned it. I had a career in banking and finance. I still am involved in banking and finance. I mean, I have securities licenses. I created 2 broker dealers and sold them. The point is that, J.D. Vance is going to have some more time for us to know who he really is. Trump, I think, is clearly in command internationally. And Peter Thiel contributed heavily to Trump and has had an influence on Trump. But again, we see even with Elon Musk that there's a limit to how far Trump's going to be controlled by anyone. Trump's his own man right now. I don't think Trump wants another term. Trump and I were born in the same year. He was born, I believe, in June. I was born in August. So
Wow.
we're born 1946.
You guys are tired.
I'm 79 years old and not about to quit. And
Right. Awesome.
very similar to
Awesome.
Trump in that, I feel like I've been doing some of my best work ever now and want to continue doing it. But the point
will you continue this on ninoscorner.tv? I'm going to close out here to read some what the fuck news, and then can I send you a link and we can go on ninoscorner.tv?
I'd love to. I'd be happy to do that. Thank you.
All right, folks, go to the gods5stones.com, donate to Jerome and help him get back on his feet. He's a patriot. He's a hero. Jerome.
We've got a few super chats here.
Oh, Jerome, you want to answer some super chats?
Yeah, sure. Let's go. Okay,
let's get some super chats. Here we go. Super sticker, thank you, Lucia Robertson. GC2905. Can we renew our General's tent early with a 50% special? No. I don't know. No. I mean, damn, I'm just trying to do everyone a solid here. Go ahead, next one. Beverly Adams, I shared my dad's 2014 deathbed prophetic message with Jerome Corsi in 2018. He then sent me a signed book and asked me to take a pic with it for his collection. Since discussing it with him, the message keeps coming true. Do you remember this, Jerome?
Yes, I remember it, and I'm pleased that the message continues to come true. Let's keep it private. But I did deeply appreciate that communication. I'm very pleased I sent a book, and I God bless, and I send my best wishes.
Okay, beautiful. Kelly Panetsky, super sticker, thank you. Michelle Christians 2451, super sticker, thank you so much. A lot of super stickers today. Perseverance 3-J3G. I'm a fourth generation seer and prophetess. Mid-July, Holy Spirit, early AM said, pray for David's mother. Oh, man. Then was flipped to the left side. Hands went on top of my head. Prayers, tongues flowed 10 minutes, then stopped. Then you said she was better. Wow, thank you so much for those prayers. My mom and I, my family, deeply appreciate it. It's a really rough time for me and my family right now. Thank you. Thank you so much for that prayer. Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring. IH super sticker. Thank you. Rara KQ2CU. Thank you so much. Super sticker. Beverly Adams. Please ask Jerome how he now feels about 17 since he earlier denounced it. But it has all been coming amazingly true and has been guiding us all the way. You got to be kind of vague on this, Jerome, since it's YouTube.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what 17 means.
The letter in the alphabet. The movement.
Let's
Trump. Yeah, let's
pass.
I'm not comfortable talking about that on here.
Let's pass.
Cougar
on that.
Player 8 Mom. Thank you. So that's it. So Jerome, I'll see you on ninoscorner.tv right now.
Look forward to it. Thank you.
Okay, I'll send you a link right now. And let's close out, folks, with some what the fuck news. In what the fuck news, TikTok influencer and her family found dead, wrapped in plastic inside a pickup truck after cartel-style execution. What? The bodies of a glamorous influencer, her husband, and her 2 children have been found wrapped in plastic and dumped in their pickup truck after they were executed in an apparent cartel hit in Mexico, authorities said. TikToker and singer Esmeralda Ferrer Garibay, 32, husband Roberto Carlos Gil Lecia, 36, son Gael Santiago, 13, and 7-year-old daughter Regina were inside the abandoned gray Ford Ranger in Guadalajara on August 22nd. Prosecutor Alfonso Gutierrez Santillán said during a press conference, using a surveillance video, and investigators traced the route of the truck back to the nearby auto repair shop where they discovered bloodstains, spent bullet casings, and ballistic evidence indicating that the family was likely executed at the site before being driven to another location, Latin Times reports. Damn. So I bet you they were involved in something pretty nasty down there. While the forensic results are not yet in, ballistic and blood evidence also certainly confirmed that location. Prosecutor Gutierrez Satia said 2 men at the auto repair shop were detained, but later released after the public prosecutor's office found insufficient evidence. In another shocking twist, the pair were kidnapped by armed men minutes after leaving the prosecutor's office. The duo had met up with the two acquaintances outside when they were intercepted, and 3 of the 4 were taken, while one managed to escape and is still at large, according to Mexican media reports. The attackers lay in wait for the group for more than 2 hours before striking, suggesting a coordinated attack, Prosecutor Bianca Trujillo told reporters. Damn, man. I mean, it's brutal. It's brutal in Mexico. I would say I would not go there if I were you folks. In fact, there's an article here somewhere. Let me find it. Gringos leave. So I'm going to add this in with this. Gringos leave. Protests targeting travelers rise as over-tourism anger grows. Protests against tourism have increased as tourist arrivals to popular destinations surpass levels. So people are just heading to Mexico, no fucks given. As over-tourism persists, residents' reactions often move from tolerance to complaints to confrontations. Protests don't repel travelers in the long term, but they can pressure governments to act. And, what about cartels? Although this is also a way the cartels make money. So I don't know. But if you're traveling through Mexico, driving, doing anything like that, don't do it. I'm going to tell you that right now. Very dangerous time. And we really don't know what's going to happen. We're in uncharted waters. You really don't know. The temperature is really hot right now. And folks, Mexico is becoming very unstable with the cartels being taken down. They're going to go to desperate measures, very desperate measures. And I'm just telling you that right now. So, folks, that's it for the show. 50% off everything for just another couple days, maybe just a day. I don't know. It's on ninoscorner.tv right now. And, folks, if you enjoyed the show, hit the like button, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Thank you for tuning in. I'm out of here. Alex.
Nino.
What do you think of the show?
Man, it's
Jerome
disturbing.
brings the heat, man. Jerome knows a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's a great guest and really tying these things together. And I mean, September is already off to a hot start.
It's a rocket ship, man. It's just blasted off. All right, folks, I'll see you at ninoscorner.tv right now. Thanks, Alex. And the new heavyweight champion of podcasting and putting out a really ominous, weird type of True Social with Good Night. There it is right there. Good night. And now Josh is going to help us decipher this because he pays attention to these things. But we're going to be real careful on this. We're going to be really careful on this because it is fluff tube. And I have to be like a mime sometimes and play charades, but it's what it is. So, like I said, if you want the real good content, get to ninoscorner.tv. And guess what, folks? I'm feeling pretty good for Labor Day. So everything on ninoscorner.tv for the next week, a few days actually, is 50% off. Even the General's tent. General's tent, 50% off. Major's tent, 50% off. Ringside with Nino, 50% off. And today, folks, Ringside with Nino is today at 5 p.m. So we're going to war game and talk about a lot of things, question and answer. We're all meeting up. If you want to join, I suggest you do it today. $11.99, cut that in half, 50% off today. It may not be up on the front end of the site, but you can go there and call somebody, call the 800 number, and you will get 50% off on ninoscorner.tv, and it's for a limited time only on everything, even the General's tent, Major's tent, monthlies, and annuals, baby, everything. So get over there right now. I'm only doing this for a few days, and we're going to knock it out of the friggin' park, folks. Also, folks, when the lights go out on Amazon, there it is. Leave an honest review. It's my story of my life, my fucking crazy life. When the lights go out. And then also, folks, my mama's book, The Mexican Mix, baby. I really do believe the prayers are helping. I have PTSD off the charts. I have stress off the charts with watching my parents just fade away and just deteriorate, and it's taking a very big mental toll on me. So I appreciate everyone who prays and leaves a review for my mom, because I read her the reviews even though she forgets 30 seconds later, but I still really appreciate it. So thank you. And folks, with that, what about your heart? You need some heart health. Red light therapy may do the trick. What if you could fire up your heart and supercharge your circulation in just 15 minutes without drugs or surgery? That's exactly what cutting-edge research shows red light therapy can do. It charges your heart's mitochondria, helping it beating faster, stronger, longer, and fights inflammation. In one study, mice with heart failure bounced back fast. Their hearts shrank to a healthy size and function soared. No pills, no side effects, just pure light power. Red Life delivers the exact therapeutic wavelengths used in those studies. I use it every day and every night. Every day, every morning, and every night is when I use it. Keep it next to your bed. That's what I do. So you can energize your heart naturally. More stamina, better blood flow, a heart built to last right at home. To claim this breakthrough for yourself, go to myredlight.com and use the code NINO. And I also have the PEMF mat as well. And let me tell you, folks, this stuff is phenomenal. I've had a show with Jonathan Otto many times. He's like the biohacker, right? He's like the medbed biohacker, putting together frequencies, sandwiching frequencies with red light therapy and EMF frequencies. That sounds like my type. Frequencies. I think frequencies. You guys got to get the frequencies. All right, so that's what I mean. Frequencies. Folks, X is Nino Boxer, patriotwear.com. Let me know what you want to see in the store. Let me know. Also, Telegram is Nino's Corner. Basically, everything is Nino's Corner except for X. X is Nino Boxer, but everything else is Nino's Corner. And I'm very, very excited about today's show. So stay tuned because Josh is going to knock it out of the park. Pretty wild stuff going on September and October. Getting wild. Nino'sCorner.tv. Laura Eisenhower and Stuart Swerdlow is up there right now. The Montauk Project survivor, talking about the projects and the coming super states that Trump is going to put into effect. That's why he's trying to get into Greenland, Iceland, Canada. It's kind of like reverse or a different path for the New World Order, globalization by Trump. He talks about this. Now, he's also like a Russian ambassador, and he's in on some very important meetings, and he released a lot of intel on my channel. So it's really compelling, amazing stuff. Also, I got Jerome Corsi, the general, in the general sense. We just did that. It was fire. I'm going to go ahead and put that up on Nino'sCorner.tv so everyone can watch it because it was that good. So Jerome Corsi, the general will be up there. I got Trader Girl Q. I got Wano saving up right now. I got a remote viewer coming on talking about what events they see coming. This ought to be pretty cool. And I got Carrie Cassidy coming on with a very important guest, talking about NASA scientists, talking about the importance of 3-eye atlas. What is it? What the hell is that? A lot of people are saying, this is it. Is it just a comment? But see, the problem is there's Chilean scientists right now deciphering code saying it's aliens, saying we're on our way. I don't know. See, I think this is the alien card being played. A lot of people are, don't downplay it. This is serious. I'm like, this is the government thing to me. That's why they're saying it's coming. It's using a propulsion system. They're not warping time and space. They're not using wormholes. I don't know. But I'm going to listen to Carrie and what they have to say. They're making a big deal out of this, folks, this 3-eye atlas. And I think, I don't know. I think it's worth doing a show on. Is it going to be the big alien card? I think it possibly can be because they're getting really, really desperate. And people are in trouble. People are in big trouble right now. So, folks, I've been thinking about, do I do the whole yell of the coming at you live anymore? I'm wondering if I should do it, if I shouldn't do it. Let me know if you want to see it. Give me a thumbs up if you want to see it. And if not, I'll quit doing it because I don't know. I feel like maybe we're beyond that now. So let me know if you want to hear me scream because some of you like to turn it down and some of you like to turn it up. So I got to know. Yes, that's your trademark. Okay, no more. So a lot of people don't want to hear it no more. Yes. All right, 3 more yeses and I'm going. We are beyond that. Okay, no, we're beyond that. No, all right. I like it. Change good, not needed. No screaming. No. All right. We're going to try it without it today. All right. I'm all right. More no's. Turn it up. All right. So today I'm going to try to go without it. Okay? I'm going to try to go without it. Do it. Oh boy, it's mixed. Let's try it without it today. All right, so let's get on with it. All right, folks, listen to this. Here we go. October bombshell, folks. October bombshells. All right, you might want to turn it up or turn it down, baby. Oh, yeah. Coming at you live from the apocalypse, folks. Oh, yeah. Fooled ya. All right, October bombshell. You're never going to change me. Clinton's dragged in to testify. Mueller's stunning exit. So now he's. I shouldn't do that. That's not cool. But Parkinson's, that's a serious. Man, I feel like an asshole. But the time is drawing near. The vice grips of agony and anxiety keep closing in upon the deep state actors' heads. They know their fates are sealed if they don't respond in some way, shape, or form, or somehow. I'm telling you here and now that we are now in that window. We are now in that zone. The window of panic and of action is now on both sides. So much that Mueller has now announced, Robert Mueller, who led the Russian investigation on Trump, the 2016 campaign, is now saying, oh, well, I got Parkinson's diagnosis and I will not testify in the Epstein investigation. Just remember this, down south where they're all going, there's a geriatric ward. There's a hospital for them as well. You're not getting out of this one, buddy. Just sorry, I had to say that. So they're going to be the first maneuvers is going to be this stuff, what we're seeing right now. These are going to be the first maneuvers before the homicides and the self-deleting begin. So this is what they're trying first before we start seeing the homicides and self-deleting. And many, many other desperate attempts trying to escape their fate. Things are going to pick up, especially in the fall. And Josh is going to get into this. And what could pick up? Well, events, distractions. Hey, I got Parkinson's disease. I can't testify. I wonder what Clinton and Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton are going to say. We're already seeing more and more mass shootings. They're occurring like crazy. So expect larger events and distractions. I know I've been saying this for a long time. And even some of you said like, nothing's happening. You guys were even saying this on the LA fire. I'm like, you don't think that's a big event? I don't know. I don't know. I think that was a pretty big event. I remember it was natural. It was natural. Distractions are necessary, folks. And as the shootings take place, the argument arises that it's time to disarm America. And who's going to do that? Pope Leo. So their goal is to make life so intolerable, so unlivable, that people freely and voluntarily give up their arms, or at the very least allow these crooked globalist controlled politicians to pass laws that outlaw them or ban the weapons. A direct assault on our Second Amendment, folks. And who better to do that than the Pope? Than the Pope himself. I told you he'd be activated. I told you that. As multiple PSYOP activations begin with certain types of unhinged podcasters who planted, or in my opinion, planted agitators, by the way, in my opinion, spreading hate and disarray and complete friggin' nonsense. They're out there, and you know who they are. We now have the Pope being activated. So Pope Leo now lets his stance be known on gun control. Pope Leo issues fiery call to stop the pandemic of arms. You got to stop it. You know why? You know what works better than a criminal with a gun? Plus, you have to pray for them. You have to pray for them. Prayer for victims of Minnesota school shooting. I'm not saying prayer doesn't work, but I don't know. I don't want to be on my knees praying when someone has a gun to my head. Okay? I'd rather have a gun too. It's time to give up your guns and allow the criminally insane few to have them and be good Catholics. And just pray. Go to church and pray. How did that work out for the last church that got shot up, huh? That was a criminally insane person who shot up a church, and they were in there doing what? Guess. Yeah, they were praying. Just saying. I don't know. As September begins to escalate, remember Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton have each been subpoenaed by the U.S. House Oversight Committee to testify in a deposition related to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Now, a lot of you are saying, oh, that's all over with. We know who's been compromised. We know Trump's in it. Joshua is going to speak on this as well. So Hillary Clinton is scheduled to testify October 9th, 2025. Bill Clinton is scheduled to testify October 14th, 2025. The subpoenas are part of a broader oversight effort examining federal handling of sex trafficking and Epstein-related matters. And why is this important? Well, folks, everything is important. They're using the Epstein connection to question them. But what are they going to get to? Well, are they going to get to that Epstein co-founded the Clinton, you know what? Lots of stuff to come out, folks. This is going to lead to a lot of other things. And Speaker Mike Johnson has publicly stated that Obama could be subpoenaed to testify about the 2016 Trump-Russia investigation. He cited newly declassified documents as deeply problematic and emphasized that no former president should be immune from congressional questioning if deemed necessary. This applies to other Obama-era figures as well, like John Brennan, James Clapper, and Eric Holder, who may also be called in to testify. It's getting hot. They know this is coming, so things are probably going to pop off soon. Pope Leo's issues a fiery call to stop the pandemic of arms and prayer for victims of Minnesota school shooting. Pope Leo issued a fiery call to stop the pandemic of arms during a prayer for the victims of the shooting in Minnesota Catholic school. Speaking in English during his Sunday blessing from the balcony overlooking St. Peter's Square, the Pope made a strong statement denouncing the attack in which the shooter fired 116 rifle rounds, killing 2 children and injuring 20 people total. Our prayers for the victims of this tragic shooting during a school mass in the American state of Minnesota, Pope Leo said, we hold in our prayers the countless children killed and injured every day around the world. Let us plead to God to stop the pandemic of arms. So in other words, he wants to take away your guns, okay? And you know what? Criminals always will get guns. Remember I said, this guy is going to go, he's going to be a direct opposition to Trump, and that's what he's doing. And he's all for open borders. So he wants open borders, and you know who's going to get the guns if the borders are open? And the criminals. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. Mueller announces Parkinson's diagnosis, will not testify in Epstein investigation. Former FBI director and Trump special counsel Robert Mueller claims, he has Parkinson's disease and cannot comply with the request to testify this week. How convenient. Before a congressional committee investigating the government's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein investigations. The New York Times originally reported Sunday evening before stealth editing their article to lead with the committee having withdrawn their request. Anyway, this sudden Parkinson's diagnosis came shortly after the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee said it would subpoena Mueller to testify on Tuesday. Talk about looking guilty. Over the FBI's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein case while he was director of the FBI. Of note, committee chair James Comer wrote in a letter to Mueller, because you were FBI director during the time when Mr. Epstein was under investigation by the FBI, the committee believes that you possess knowledge and information relevant to this investigation. Going to be interesting to see how this plays out, folks. But what's going to be the Clintons' excuse? What are they going to say? Hillary and Bill, they got subpoenaed. Our first gift card winner is Mary Miles, baby. You got the Sancho cheap date. Orale. All right, $25 gift card winner. Gift card wiener chicken dinner. All right, so thank you so much for playing. Hey, yo. But Mr. Barr writes here. I knew he wasn't nervous. Okay, so during a key meeting to discuss the findings of Mr. Mueller's investigation in 2019, Mr. Mueller's hands were trembling and his voice was tremulous. Mr. Barr wrote in a memoir published in 2022. I knew he wasn't nervous and I wondered if he might have an illness, Mr. Barr wrote. So Mr. Barr is going to bat for Mr. Mueller here, for Robert Mueller. Mr. Barr wrote that after the meeting, he and the Deputy Attorney General at the time, Mr. Rosenstein, discussed Mr. Mueller's condition. Wow, Mr. Barr said. He said to Mr. Rosenstein, Bob has lost a step or two. Other in Comer's crosshairs include James Comey, the FBI Director Hillary and Bill Clinton, and Eric Holder Jr., Merrick Garland, Alberto Gonzalez, Jeff Sessions, and Mr. Barr himself. Interesting. Going to be real interesting. There he is. Yeah. Laugh it up, big guy. Yeah, big jelly roll. And hit on Mr. Rudy Giuliani, folks. Really crazy stuff. Breaking: Rudy Giuliani seriously injured in a car accident in New Hampshire, hospitalized with fractured vertebrae and multiple cuts. Mayor Giuliani was flagged down by a woman who was a victim of domestic violence prior to the accident. He rendered assistance, so he pulled over like a good citizen, rendered assistance and contacted 911, remaining on the scene until responding officers arrived to ensure her safety, a spokesperson said. The accident occurred after he re-entered his vehicle, so he gets back into his vehicle, and then hit was from behind at a high speed, injuring him. Crazy. Tries to go out of his way to help somebody, and bam. I knew a guy one time, folks, that walked out of, you never know when it's your day to go, by the way. You just don't know. A guy I knew this guy, walks out of his apartment, sees a U-Haul. He was on the second story, sees some guys trying to get a couch out of a U-Haul. This is true, by the way. This is a true story, what I'm going to tell you. He sees them struggling with the couch, so he decides, I'll go help him real quick. And he was a strong guy. He gets up on the U-Haul to help him with the couch. He slips off the bumper or the back of the U-Haul, hits the head, the couch hits him, and he's dead. That's how he died. Isn't that crazy? One day wakes up, didn't know that was the last time he was going to lace on his shoes, walks out to help somebody in need with a couch, slips, and dies. It's just crazy. Life is insane. I've been thinking about a lot about life lately because of what's going on with my family. And I got to tell you, it's just, every moment is a gift, man. Every moment is a gift. That's all I can say. As we head into the first days of September and into the fall, Trump posts this really weird, bold letters, irregular. It's not really irregular for Trump, but it was a strange, ominous message on his True Social that just says good night. And here it is, good night. And I'm going to bring on Joshua Reed right now to talk about what the hell does this mean. Josh, here you are, man. One of my favorite guests, dude. What the hell are we looking at here? And I gave you the rules and regulations in the dressing room. Keep the punches high, no punches below the belt. In case of a knockdown, run to the neutral corner for the standing eight. All right, go for it.
Well, Nino, firstly, I need the coffee that you're drinking, man. Wow. Some energy right there. But, everybody, I hope you're all doing well out there. And welcome to season 20, episode 25 of Earth. This is where it gets strange, weird, and even better. It's going to get interesting. So Trump posted this last night, and he posted it at 9:54 p.m. This is 2 days in a row, Nino. He posts something at 9:54. Yeah, two days in a row. This time it was good night, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Now I looked at it and I said, wait a minute. I recognize that. And I went to our boards, our friends over on the boards, and I said, why does this look so familiar? Well, sure enough, the 9:54 board post says next week, boom, boom, boom. And I go, booms are exclamation points. There's 3 exclamation points. Next week, he says good night. I said, that's an adjective and a noun. A noun specifying time. Week, next week, and then you have good night. Those are indications of time. You have good and next, which are both adjectives, and then 3 exclamation points. I said, the odds of Trump doing that, and he's done this multiple times, just randomly, hey, every once in a while, maybe if that was just random noise, okay, random noise. But when he does this consistently, and if everybody remembers, there was another post he did this weekend, which made mainstream news. I mean, you have Alex down in Austin talking about this stuff. Oh my goodness, I can't believe Trump did this, right?
Right, but he's also saying but he's also saying Trump is sick right now. There's a lot of stuff Alex is saying that
I think
trying to keep
a
up
lot
with.
Of disinfo out there.
Okay.
Nino, I want people to think about this. This weekend, the rumor started that Trump was dead. Right. This is the rumor that happened this weekend. It was everywhere. The mainstream media even picked it up. What's he do the next day? Goes and does 2 rounds of 18 holes of golf. Okay. I don't know anybody. So I golf. If I do 18 holes, I'm sore. My shoulders hurt. I'm sweating. This dude do 2 rounds in a day. Yeah. He's 79. What, 79, 80 years old? Dude,
well, I'll drive the caddy,
shape.
Josh. I mean, that's what I do. I drive the caddy. I remember I did a golf tournament with Tim Hardaway one time. We drank tequila and took the caddy off-roading.
Yeah, there you go.
That's my golf.
He just went out and played 2 rounds of golf, and people are like, no. So the same people that are saying Trump's dead or we haven't seen him in hours are now like, why is he golfing, man? Doesn't he have better things to do? Like give the guy a break, man. He's saving the world for goodness sake. But the fact that he's going out there playing 2 rounds of golf in a day after the whole rumor circulated, I found was just bittersweet for that.
Like in your face,
like in your face, because Trump going and playing 2 rounds of golf, dude. Firstly, if anybody out there has played 2 rounds of golf in a day, you're just like, okay, yeah, I like that's not easy. And when you're Donald Trump doing that,
79 years old.
Yeah.
So what are we looking at? What are we looking at here, Josh? What do you expect to come? Because now we got Mueller saying, okay, I got Parkinson's. He's pulling out. They're going to try everything before I believe the homicides and self-deleting happens. I think that's going to happen probably in the next
self-deleting weekend. Self-deleting weekend was the board post for yesterday. Now, this is interesting, Nino. If you go back a week and a half, former Attorney General Bill Barr testified in front of the House committee that we were just talking about, same one that Jeff Sessions did. Now, after he came out of the closed door session, everybody was like, oh, Bill Barr testified, nothing new, and he gave his testimony. Well, this last week, about, August 28th, Jeff Sessions went in there and testified.
Oh, wow.
But you didn't hear anything about it.
No, nobody heard it.
It's not on the news. Nobody's saying anything about it. Number one thing is Jeff Sessions left the Trump administration in 2017. Nobody has heard from Jeff Sessions on social media or even in public interviews since February 21st, 2020.
Really?
Yes. He just testified this last week in D.C. in a closed-door session, and there's been no word from anybody of what Jeff Sessions said.
The media is not covering any of this, Josh.
No. Well,
I mean, people have to go to like syndicates like you and I to get this information because this is not being covered at all. It's like they're doing their best to keep this as low under the radar as possible.
That's right.
I mean, do you think they'll even cover it? I mean, nobody's even talking about Hillary and Bill testifying.
Oh, well, I don't know if Bill's going to make it to testify. I mean, did you see him this weekend? Him and Hillary are catching a flight. Who knows? Maybe to Haiti. And Bill's got his pocket defibrillator with him.
Interesting.
Now think about this in the sense of you remember about a year ago when Bill Clinton was talking about Donald Trump coming back in the office and how he was afraid, and he goes, well, I don't know if they're going to send me to a place with a view like Gitmo, or maybe they'll send me to the Colorado Supermax.
Right.
Bill Clinton said this, and he goes, it's already been decided. And now we're seeing him walking around with a defibrillator. And
something may happen.
I said months ago, I said, I bet you Bill Clinton is the next president to
go under, to delete.
Yeah, to delete, to go away. And I said
And
that
they would
watch,
need that kind of distraction, wouldn't they?
October.
But Josh, they would need that distraction. The deep state would need that distraction.
So yeah, I think that the deep state would need that distraction. But you know, Nino, when we start to look at the battlefield of the deep state is it's in shambles. It's done. Like if we look at number one, you remember like before the midterm elections in 2020 or before the midterms in 2022, all you heard on X and social media was the Democrats have raised $100 million. The Democrats have raised $200 million. We're pulling in tons of money. Look how much money we raised. When was the last time you heard anything about the Democrats raising money?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Not since then.
Cricket, silence.
And Trump is getting ready to sign an executive order. He's already flirting with it on. Mm-hmm. We know about Tina Peters. We know about all that. I don't want to talk about it on YouTube, but Tina Peters. Now Trump is yelling for her to come out or face harsh punishments. And we're hearing now that he might sign an executive order, or I've heard that he's going to, regarding in-person paper ballots, that type of thing. Now we'll be careful what we talk about on that, but that's all coming. Their day's done. And it's not just the Democratic Party. It's the rhinos. It's the deep state. They're good as dead.
Well, it is. Right now, it's the reckoning. They have been rendered powerless. There was another Truth Social post that Trump put out this weekend that correlated with a lot of the stuff that I've been covering. And I told you about this. The last time we did Nino's Corner, I told you about this after the show. Well, if you listened, Pete Hegseth last week came out and started talking about it. Pete Hegseth came out and started talking about, hey, we need to review Microsoft and a lot of their stuff because there's been a big compromise. Well, Trump actually put out a Truth Social post that went directly to this. Do you remember the Rose Garden Truth Social post where he's talking about the crack in the foundation?
Yes.
If you break that down and look at it, I got it on my X profile. If you break it down and look at it, he's talking about the infiltration inside his administration over the last few months. And what have we seen? Dan Scavino takes over all hiring and firing inside the White House. We have a massive purge coming about through the CDC. That was pretty interesting. Robert Malone started talking about this, that the ACIP subcommittee on COVID was approved.
Right.
It was approved. So basically, for people on RFK side, is they were going to open up and look into these things. And so what we find is Bill Gates. What happened to Bill Gates this last week? He goes into the White House, meets with Donald Trump.
That's crazy to me.
The same day.
Crazy to me.
But the same day, he de-invests from a NGO known as Arabella Advisors.
Wow. The same exact day that he met with Trump at the White House.
Same day. He pulls hundreds of millions of dollars of investment capital out of Arabella Advisors. Now, who's Arabella Advisors? Right? Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah. Be careful here.
Well, it's called dark money. It's just dark money. It's just a way to move money. Okay. But if you think of other NGOs that we've already talked about, they're all associated with it. Well, Bill Gates pulled out of that. And then what do we see? We see the CDC get completely renovated. Well, all of those were Bill Gates lackeys. So the same day that Bill Gates meets with Donald Trump, you have him pulling hundreds of millions of dollars out of Arabella Advisors, and then you see all of his lackeys get terminated from the CDC. That's not a coincidence. And what else do you have? You have Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump saying, we would like to own a part of a lot of these tech companies, including Microsoft. And what did we find? So I don't know if your audience knows about Detachment 201. We've talked about this a few times. This is where Trump went and created the chief information officer, the chief production officer of Microsoft, Meta, and now you have 10% ownership of Intel, and then you have OpenAI. Well, the chief production or technology officer on these companies is now a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army Reserve, known as Detachment, I believe it's Detachment 301. Detachment 301. So for people out there that are looking at that, it's not the people. Yes, they are the lieutenant colonels. It's the position. It's the board seat that's going to be attached to the Pentagon for these companies forever. What does that mean? Is that whoever holds that position is, number one, going to be sworn under oath to the United States Constitution. Number two is the legality falls no longer under regular jurisdictional authority. It falls under Article 10, the UCMJ, which means that they are completely legally liable to the United States military, the Pentagon, and the people of the United States and the U.S. Constitution. And this is Meta, Palantir, OpenAI.
They're now all under the military supervision.
That's right. So people are like, why is Palantir getting all these contracts? Like it's a takeover, Peter Thiel, right? No, look at the position. The position of their chief product officer, is there. It's crazy.
Gift card winner number 2, Grateful Granny ×5, baby. You got it, Grateful Granny. Thank you so much for playing Sancho's cheap date competition. You got the wiener, the chicken dinner. Orale, all right. So, Josh, let me ask you some other questions here. There, right now we're seeing battleships surround Venezuela, and Venezuela is now activating a militia. What the hell's going on? I've always said there's going to be some sort of cartel warfare, but it looks like Trump is taking to the offense. He's going in after them. I know that right here on the border security is off the charts. I mean, army everywhere, military everywhere. There's like zero apprehensions. I mean, it's crazy to see what's going to happen with Venezuela. What do you expect to see, bro?
Dude, number one is I was in the Navy for 10 years. My first 6 years.
I didn't know it was 10 years. You were in there for 10 years?
Yeah, first 6 years, I was out of San Diego, and 2.5 times I deployed to the Southern Pacific on narco terrorist deployments. Now, firstly, a shout out to one of your listeners, Boats. I know you're out there, Michael Lawson, brother, holding it up. He was there with me during these deployments, man.
Really?
And he hit me up the other day. He's like, man, that's all you need. I'm like, what's up, brother? So, okay. But so what we did out there were narco deployments. So we interdicted human trafficking operations and drug trafficking operations in the South Pacific. Now, typically what you're going to have is you're going to have 1 or 2 U.S. Navy assets in the Pacific, 1 or 2 Navy assets in the Atlantic. And then you would have like a P-8 or a P-3 flying overhead doing air support. That's basically all we would have out there. Right now, you have 4 destroyers, 2 cruisers, 1 submarine, 2 amphibs, and 4,500 Marines. That's a preparation for invasion and war.
They have 4, right. But isn't China supplying them with fighter jets now? And I've heard weapons. I mean, artillery.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. Venezuela is a proxy for China.
Boom.
Everybody has to understand this. So, number one, we had an inflow of things that came over the border, right?
Right.
Okay. They came from, we would say, Darien Gap in Panama. Well, Darien Gap in Panama is right next to South America, Venezuela. There's only one landmass or one thing that actually connects Venezuela and Panama. It's the Bridge of America. Went under it multiple different times going into Panama through the canal. Okay. So how did those people get the Darien Gap? How did people from the Middle East, Northern Africa, or China get to Panama? Well, they were dropped off in Venezuela. Well, how did they get to Venezuela? How did they cross the Atlantic Ocean? They had to have flown or came in on big ships. Well, who paid for that, China. China paid for that.
Ding, dong, dong, ding.
That's right. China paid for that. So a lot of that inflow over our border was funded by them. Now, Maduro is nothing more than an agent. This is why China is directly connected with the fentanyl. Fentanyl is distributed through the cartels and the gangs. That seats up in the United States. So what Trump is doing now, and this goes back to conversations we've had, 20,000 troops on the southern border, National Guard being employed throughout the country, is that the military presence there is, number one, a deterrent against Maduro, who has a $10 million bounty on his head by Pam Bondi just 3 weeks ago.
And he put one on Trump's head to answer back, didn't he?
That's right. But what do we have in our country? Well, we had 23 million people inflow into our country. A lot of them, Tren de Agua, gangs, cartels associated with Venezuela, with Central American and Mexican cartels that are sleeper agents. Yeah.
Now, do you believe that they're going to be activated at the right time, or should they have been activated already, or do you think they're waiting for the right time to be activated?
So I would say that they're waiting for the right time to be activated, and that the naval presence right now off the coast of Venezuela is feel free to activate them and watch what happens.
Right. We're going to get you. We're going to bomb the hell out of you. Do you think this has anything to do with China's Xi rolling out the red carpet for Putin and Modi as Trump upends global relations? So right now, China's rolling out the red carpet for these superpowers. I think that's India and Russia right there, if I'm correct. Do you think this has anything to do with it? These relationships that are happening right now, because the leaders of the world's biggest democracy will all be hosted by Chinese leader Xi Jinping this weekend at a summit designed to showcase Beijing as a global leader capable of providing a counterweight to Western institutions. Is this how they're responding? I mean, what's going on here?
Man, this is what people need to start paying attention to. Listen to what Donald Trump says about certain things. He said just last week, he says, I talked to Xi Jinping and Xi said that they're not going to invade Taiwan or any of that stuff right now, that they're afraid of us, and that when did he talk to Xi Jinping? We haven't seen any formal call. We didn't see any transcript of that call.
Right.
Do you remember a few weeks ago when he said that I talked to Vladimir Putin every week? And then Vladimir Putin was at the BRICS summit down in Brazil, got up in the middle of a talk and said, I got to go take the call from the president.
Damn.
So now you have Putin and Trump that met in Alaska, a week and a half ago, and now Putin's meeting with Xi Jinping and Modi. Listen, these guys are in communication with each other. They're talking to each other. Now, do I think that Xi is running China fully and that the China beast is under Xi's control and direction? Honestly, I don't. I think that China has the same problem the United States has had for 50 years. They have infiltration. They have a deep state. They have a massive infrastructure. The CCP is massively huge. We know that if you go back to 2022, remember when the mainstream media was saying that Xi Jinping had a coup?
Yes.
And that he was potentially dead. But then he shows back up at the CCP annual meeting, removes Jintao, the old premier, removes Jintao from the meeting. He's like, what's going on here?
I remember that clearly.
Yeah. So there is the same structure existing in China that there is in the US. So what we're seeing right now is the formulation of this infrastructure, what I call the deep state intelligence apparatus, that is basically scurrying around the planet trying to get their resources in place for a counterattack. But it's just not going to work. So
do you think all of this culminates at the same time? Do you think the war do you think we're actually going to strike Venezuela? I've heard we're already making drone strikes within Mexico on cartel families' homes.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt that.
I've heard this. I don't have validation, but I've heard from some pretty good sources. Also, let's talk a little bit about the border news for a second, because right now, as I like to go through these articles as we do this, massive news, folks. President Trump's HUD Secretary Scott Turner is now kicking off all illegal immigrants from Section 8 housing, demanding proof of citizenship for the Section 8 tenants. No longer will illegal immigrants be able to leave citizenship boxes blank or take advantage of HUD funding houses, riding the coattails of hardworking American citizens. They're done. They're out. This, to me, Josh, is a huge step, because they're all in Section 8 housing, man, all of them. So what's going to happen now? This is, in a way, getting them to self-deport. Now they have no way to live here. They have no way to make money. I'm telling you, man, when I'm flying in and out of airports now, I'm noticing a huge drop in population in the airports. I don't see, like, flying from El Paso to San Antonio to El Paso, at least in Texas, dude, they're cutting down the flights. They're cutting down the flights completely. They're used to, because there was 80 to 100 seats open. I've never had that before. And now they're cutting down flights because nobody's flying.
Well, here's my thoughts on that, Nino, is that we had a problem in this country, right? Now, if you understand the growth rate of the United States of America, population growth rate, we need approximately 3.1% immigration into this country to sustain our population growth rate. Right now, it's at 1.8%. Now, you can't recompensate that with illegal immigration. You have to compensate it with good immigration, with legal immigration through the right process. And what Donald Trump said is, hey, I want the smartest and the brightest to compete to come to our country to be a part of our country, right?
100%.
So in order for that to begin to happen again, for that to reset the clocks, is you got to get rid of all the freeloaders that came in here. And I'm sorry I call them freeloaders, but
No,
that's
it's
exactly
the truth.
what it is.
They're sucking off the system, the taxpayers' dollars.
Yeah, and not only that, they're sucking off the system, and there's people in this country that are sucking off the system. But it was exploitation of the system.
So do you agree with me that what's coming in this new paradigm, this new society, this new, which I can't believe I'm saying this, but this new AI-controlled surveillance society, because that's where it's going, and it's going to be all, I can go really deep into this, and that could be a different show. But surface level right now, I'm going to say, I don't believe, I don't believe that homeless are going to be able to exist. I don't believe drug addicts are going to be able to exist. I don't believe illegals are going to be able to exist. Criminals, because I think the surveillance is going to be so strict. Society, the AI is going to take the lower level, mid-level jobs. You're not going to be able to exist in this society unless you're a contributor, and unless you're actually contributing to this society. Otherwise, where's going to be your place? I mean, in DC, they're already picking up homeless people, taking them to encampments. Where are they really going? I don't know. What's your thoughts on this, Josh? Do you agree with me that I don't think society is going to be able to? I think the people that are the bottom feeders, the criminals, there's going to be a special place for them. They're not going to be able to thrive in this coming society.
Yes. So my thoughts on that, Nino, are this: is that I when I look at AI, the number one thing that I see is a tool, a resource.
Right.
And with any tool or resource, it can be weaponized. It's a double-edged sword. It can be used for good. It can be used for bad. Is there the potential out there right now for AI to take over and take control? The way things are going, absolutely. The way things that are expanding right now, absolutely. But if you look at the moves that Donald Trump's made, at least with Trump or Vance in office, we're not going to have to worry about the nanny surveillance state or anything like that. But who knows what happens on the road? So there's a few things that you need in order to make sure that doesn't happen.
You trust JD Vance?
I get good vibes from JD Vance. I don't get anything evil or, oh my God, I'm Peter Thiel's henchman, right?
You think he'll be used as like a Trump tool? I don't want to call him a tool, but he'll probably be taking orders from Trump behind the scenes, correct?
100%. So do I see kind of AI turning into a surveillance state? I kind of do, but not in the way that we're seeing it. Because number one, the tech bros, they already believe it's happening. And what their objective is to integrate into AI the save humanity. That's why there's this biomedical push and rush to do all this. But I think that what we're about to see over the course of the next 2 to 3 years technologically is going to blow our minds. And I think that safe protocols are going to be put in place to ensure that this stuff doesn't expand. And I mean, if you ever wanted to get fringy on this conversation, I wrote an article on this. We're fastly approaching what's called the singularity event. This is where artificial superintelligence actually comes about. Now, Nino, are you a Trekkie? Do you watch Star Trek or anything?
Hell no.
Okay.
But why are you?
I'm a Trekkie, dude. I'm a Trekkie.
Are you dressed up as a Klingon?
No. Well, I'm more of a next generation Trekkie.
Okay. Do you like Star Wars or Star Trek better?
I like both of them, but I'd rather watch Next Generation Star Trek than anything Star Wars.
Dude, I'm open to checking these events out, to be honest with you. Do they even have these events anymore? Do you go to these events like Trekkie?
Oh, I don't go to these events. No.
Oh, come on, bro. Then you're not a true Trekkie.
But one thing that I want you to see here is that there's something in the lore of Star Trek called First Contact and the Prime Directive. The Prime Directive basically says is you never interfere with a developing civilization. right? Because you could harm them, they could destroy themselves, or they could develop some crazy technology to destroy everybody else.
And the karma comes back to you, right?
That's right. And then on the other side is that when they do develop like faster than light travel, that's when you make first contact. That's when you invite them to the universe, not because you're friendly, but because you don't want this civilization that just developed faster than light technology to go out there and interfere with other developing societies or to wage war against your friends.
So there is kind of like a galactic federation. There's rules and regulations on the universe.
There absolutely is. Now, here's the important part. Once we hit artificial superintelligence, we now qualify in that sense of technology, that we become one of those civilizations that, hey, we better reach out to them before they hurt someone or themselves. Because if AI takes us over and becomes all powerful and then goes out to the galaxy, what if they start attacking other civilizations?
So how do we know this is not already an alien intelligence taking us over with AI?
Because
there's different ways to look at this.
So yes, and listen, that's one of my theories as well, is that number one, AI is technology that's been reverse engineered since the 1940s. That's why it started with computer technology. If you were an advanced alien race and you wanted to infiltrate a planet, you wouldn't send drones, you wouldn't send spaceships, you wouldn't send, AI robots or anything like this. What you would send is you would send a spacecraft to crash at a point in time when a civilization is becoming technologically advanced, but are still not far along advanced as you would suspect them to be. Probably, and what you do is you would send a spacecraft that has highly advanced propulsion, weapon systems, and navigation, but then maybe a computer system that's only 50 to 100 years more advanced than them. So to take them 50 years to begin reverse engineering that and developing it. And if you
it's like giving a bunch of monkeys or chimpanzees a computer in the jungle and have them play with it. I mean, that's how they look at it.
Yeah. And so what happened is that 1947, the same time as Roswell, you go from the vacuum tube, which was like as big as my water bottle, a vacuum tube, right? Transistor, to a transistor the size of that pen tip right there that you could fit thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of transistors onto a circuit card. This gave birth to what's known as the Silicon Valley.
Interesting.
So we made this giant leap in technology from 1947 to 1952. And you had two events.
Explosion.
You had Roswell and Alamogordo, New Mexico's both crashes at that point in time.
Alamogordo, that's just right up the street. Hold on, let me get to the next gift card winner. Next gift card winner, Michelle Gill. I feel like you've won many times, Michelle. I don't know. Michelle Gill, 2461. Thank you so much for playing. Wiener, chicken dinner. You got it done. All right. Go on, Josh.
So when we start to look at what would happen there is, what if an alien civilization, number one, wanted to invade our planet, or number two, wanted to help us out and say, hey, look, we're going to help you guys out. We're going to give you a little lift. And what they did is they sent a spacecraft here. It has highly advanced propulsion. We can't figure out how this thing flies or anything like that, but we figured out how the computer systems work. We said, hey, this looks familiar. We get this, the computer systems. And they go out there and reverse engineer the computer systems, and they start developing it and then expanding that whole infrastructure within our society.
And then boom, now we got iPhones.
What if it was a Trojan horse? What if it was a Trojan horse? What if we just built the whole infrastructure of their AI?
Right. And that's how they would properly take us over.
That's right. And so not a shot was fired and they didn't have to do anything.
So what's your thoughts of this 3-eye atlas that's coming through the solar system right now? I've always said they're going to play the alien card, I think, and it's coming right on time, or right around the time that we would expect to see clickety clank. I think they said October 31st, November 2nd, somewhere on that time frame. This ship is just pushing through our solar system. What's your thoughts on this? I mean, it's propulsion. I'm kind of skeptical about that, but they're sure advertising it.
If I'm a highly advanced alien civilization, I'm not going to take months to travel through a solar system.
And it's 20 miles long, by the way. It's 20, 25 miles long, this thing.
I think that what we're seeing right now with Umawana and this one is that, number one, these are both interstellar objects that are flowing into our solar system. And this is only the second object other than Umawana that's came into our solar system. And both of them had peculiar traits about them that we've never seen before. What this is telling us is that The atmosphere outside of our solar system is way different than inside. That our physics and understanding of physics is completely wrong. And I think that's the point of all this. Now,
but I mean, can we even trust what NASA's telling us, Josh?
No.
I mean, come on.
No,
I mean, this is coming from NASA. You know, I mean,
no,
I right then and there, that completely to me, I throw this out of the window. I just kind of go, okay, whatever. We all know the alien card is going to be played anyway, and I would think it's going to get played right now, dude.
Well, I think that the alien card is going to be played, but I don't think it's going to be played in the bad way with what people are saying, blue beam and all of this. I think that what the world is prepping for right now, Nino, is I think they're prepping for this. And here's my thought.
For a real alien encounter. Real.
I've researched this for 30 years. Okay. I know some whistleblowers in this community, legitimate, that have filed with the government, with IGs, like legitimate whistleblowers, people that work in these programs, legitimize, right? I've talked to them, and this is some of their thoughts as well, is that for the last 50 years, there has been a preparation underway in the world to prepare for what's coming. Okay? Now, they all say 2027 to 2035, somewhere in that time frame, something's going to happen. Something's coming. Now, with AI happening at the same time, I'm like, go back to my whole first contact aspect of things. But when I start to look at this is what I begin to see, is that the deep state, the cabal, they understood that this was coming. And they knew that they had...
So they were preparing for this. They're not manufacturing it. What you're saying is they knew this event's coming, and they were preparing for it. They weren't manufacturing it. This is not a deep state manufacturing.
They were preparing for it. And so what they wanted is they wanted ET
to have everything together and be organized.
To be their saviors, to their God. So think about if ET showed up and there was a massive war waging on, or a pandemic rolled through and wiped out 85% of the population or something like that. ET comes down and goes, "Oh, we're here to help you." And then,
but aren't they still going to do that? I mean, if that's what they were hoping for to happen,
there's any need to.
Right, not now because of Trump. But what I'm saying is, so what good is going to come from this civilization that's hurling through our solar system right now? What's going to happen? It's going to put a stop to all the, it's going to be a massive distraction at the very least. And what is it going to bring us?
Well, I think Atlas is just a comet that's very obscure, or maybe a deep space probe from something else, right? I think that's most likely what that is, or something that we completely don't understand at all.
I personally believe this is going to be nothing. I don't think anything's going to happen with it. I think
I think we're going to learn nothing from it. But do I think it's nothing? No. For all we know, it could be some sentient life form in the universe that exists in that space, and it's breathing, and that's why it's getting off the nickel and sulfur or whatever, right?
So you think it's conscious? You think it's consciousness? It has a conscious.
We don't know nothing about this universe. We've been lied to by the scientific community. We've been lied to by NASA.
So changing gears for a second here. Do you pay attention to football?
A little bit.
All right. So what's your thoughts on folks? I got to do this. It's a little segment I'm adding in here, because I'm starting to pay a lot more attention to college ball. I've paid a lot more attention to college ball than I do NFL. Arch Manning, who is Arch Manning? Do you know? Is he like the nephew or the son of whatever? His nightmare out. Who's Arch Manning? Put him in here in the chat. I know he's related to Peyton and the other Manning, the other brother.
He's the nephew of Peyton and
right?
Eli.
So he's the nephew. So he leaves Texas reeling after Ohio State loss. I've got to play better for us to win. So he's all hype, no bark. Columbus, Ohio, with 2 Texas State troopers on his hip and tears welling in his eyes. Arch Manning took one last glance toward the Ohio State fans hanging above the tunnel as he exited Ohio Stadium here Saturday. It's a sight that will stick with it forever. A sort of nightmarish portrait, a blanket of scarlet-clad kids having rotated upside down, their ballot fists like this, hook 'em horns upside down, extended index fingers and outreach pinkies. So all hype, no bite. Looks like he's crashing and burning. Have you paid attention to this kid? Because I was starting to watch him a little bit. I'm like, oh man, he's failing here. So all that hype may have got to him. What's your thoughts on this?
I think that's probably what it is all that hype gets to them. I mean, listen, they're going to build. They've done this with all of the nephews and the kids of all of these. Jerry Rice's son and, the basketball. I forget the one basketball player whose kids playing and stuff.
Yeah.
They hype them all up. And then what happens?
LeBron's kid.
Mediocre.
LeBron's kid. You never. So they
yeah.
have an old saying in boxing. There's never two great fighters in one family. It's always just one. There's only one fighter per family. No matter how bad the kid wants to box or wants to learn how to fight, there's always just that one great fighter. Take Julio Cesar Chavez. His son is garbage. I mean, it's the same thing in every sport, I think. It's very rare to see two, but you do see two great athletes in a family. It may be different sports. Well, Ken Norton
and Peyton.
Yeah, there you go. Ken Norton was a great boxer, and his son was a great football player. I mean, that does happen, but the same sport is so very rare. And with that being said, folks, Josh, stick with me. I'm going to read some what the fuck news. Listen to this shit, bro. In what the fuck news, two friends agree to shoot each other in the head while wearing Kevlar helmets. And now one is charged with murder. What? So, two pals took turns shooting each other in the head with a rifle while wearing Kevlar helmets inside a home, with one man now being charged with the other's murder, according to authorities. Sean O'Donnell, 37, was taken into custody at his home in Houston, Texas on August 17th in connection to a shooting death of Aaron Prout, 34. These guys are in their 30s, man. You would think you'd see something like this from teenagers. These guys are in their 30s, dude. And they native of the UK, according to the Harris County Sheriff's Office. Two pals were inside O'Donnell's home, firing at each other with a rifle while wearing the bullet-resistant helmets when Prout was seriously injured by the gunfire. The British man was transported to an area hospital where he died from his injuries, according to the sheriff. To me, this is like survival of the fittest. I mean, this is like low IQ, like, let's see who can outlive the bullet. And they're shooting each other in the head, Kevlar helmets. I've seen this happen before. I had a friend, I'm not going to say who he is, who wore a Kevlar vest and opted into getting shot in it. He did it. I saw him he was turning white. He was scared for his life. I'm like, bro, you don't have to do this. Why are you doing this? It's good content, bro. It's good content. I'm telling you, I know what I'm doing with my content. He went out there, they shot him, he survived it. He got shot in the Kevlar. He's wearing a Kevlar vest. But, dude, to shoot each other in the head with Kevlar helmets, this is insane, dude. Like, this is where we're at. I bet you they were recording the whole thing on Instagram or something.
Yeah, this year's Darwin Award goes to these two guys right here. Number one is there's all different types of armor out there, and they're all rated for different velocity and impact compression bullets, right? So, like, if you have level 3 or level 4 or level 4A or whatever, Kevlar helmets are typically rated for, like, a 9mm pistol.
Boom, that's it.
Not for a rifle.
Wow, dude.
So, number one, these guys are just morons. And I don't know if you remember the comedian Bill Hicks.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love Bill Hicks, and he does this thing about this guy that was on drugs and jumps off a building, thought he could fly. He goes, F him. If he thought he could fly, why didn't he take why didn't he go off from the ground first? You don't see ducks trying to fly south, taking an elevator up to the roof to jump off. Like, exactly. He goes, good, we lost a moron. The world's lighter. Let's celebrate. And that's what I feel about this guy right here. Right? Good, we lost a moron. Let's celebrate.
I feel the same way, and the guy should go to jail, dude. Look at him. Who does it? I would expect this from like 9-year-old kids. Maybe
were they smoking meth or drinking or something?
It said hard to believe so-called friends would take turns shooting at each other wearing a Kevlar helmet inside a house in a residential neighborhood. I don't think they were, man. I think they were sober. It says nothing about being on drugs.
And the second part is they shot at each other wearing probably the same Kevlar helmet over and over and over again, which Kevlar weakens after each impact.
Oh, my Lord, dude. Yeah, so the Darwin Award. Yeah, morons.
We lost the moron. We lost the moron.
All right, folks. Winner number 4, Mr. Muggsy's Pride. Mr. Muggsy's Pride. Wiener, wiener, chicken dinner. Thank you for playing. Folks, I'm out of here. Josh, thank you so much. Alex, are you there?
I'm here, Nino.
Good show.
Great show. Yeah, Josh, thanks for being here, man. This was really good.
Guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Josh, I'll get you over at ninoscorner.tv, and you can go to redpills.tv, folks, redpills.tv, and ninoscorner.tv right now, half off everything. Everything's half off. I'm doing it just for a couple days, maybe a few days. I don't know. Get over there right now. Generals 10 is going to be awesome this month, and Ringside with Nino tonight at 5 p.m. We're out of here, folks. Peace. Later. And the new heavyweight champion of podcasting and the black sheep of broadcasting, folks. I'm out. Peace.